at a normal corporate place.
Yeah, where you have to be
This
extra
is radio.
careful. Radio's ridiculous. I don't know what the heck is going on here, but I mean, it's a circus.
I mean, it's not like I was soliciting women so that I could give them tickets to events or anything like that. It wasn't like that, you know? I was just going to send a really funny and to once again prove my charm email to everybody, right?
I mean, charm it's not your only redeeming quality, but it's a big one.
It really is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would love to hear from people on this. Text us if you have a good one, 314-436-7900. That's if you have a great reply all. And if you did it.
Oh, man. What were you
thinking?
Tell us,
what were you thinking?
Were you compromised under the influence, or did you, in sound, mind, and body, send a barn burner of an email to the entire company? Because we would love to hear what that was.
Well, also, is it a barn burner or is it a bridge burner?
Oh, it's both.
Yeah, I think it might be both.
Yeah, I think it's both. I was using barn burner. It's kind of a hockey term because guess what? I am playing the Blues Alumni Fantasy Camp. And here's the thing. I am playing hockey for the first time in 8 years. And I'll be playing games the next 3 days. I'm nervous about how badly I'm going to embarrass myself. And my question is, if you're not very good to begin with, do you have less to worry about? Because if you at your best is kind of embarrassing, if you haven't played for 8 years and then you go play, you don't have as far to fall.
No one's going to judge. Who cares?
Well, I
Who cares?
You don't want to completely embarrass yourself.
Nah, nobody cares. You're fine. No one's going to. I hope you get hip checked.
I probably will.
Yeah.
I probably will throw the hip check.
And break every bone in your body as you're delivering it.
You're so violent all the time.
No,
I was talking about this with people while I was not here about how you're Mr. Violent Wish and Hope.
I don't want.
And how I, because I don't even like saying violent things. The worst I wish on
it's
you.
It's a hip check. It's hockey. What are you talking about?
Gas pains and occasional bloating. Because that's an inconvenience.
What I'm talking about, hockey. Hits are delivered in hockey, Amy.
Mm-hmm.
You should expect to be hit in this game tonight. But good luck to you.
Well, thank you.
So today we're going to talk to Major Garrett, Chief Washington correspondent for CBS News. As always, plenty to discuss with him. Steve Hackett, legendary guitarist,
Genesis?
And with Genesis, remember that band?
Do I ever? We all do.
Yeah.
None of us forgot about it.
Matt Pauley.
Yeah.
Will join us. We'll talk a little Sparts with him. Kansas City Chiefs have their second playoff game this weekend. The division round is happening. Of course, that will be broadcast here on KMOX for free. And we're going to have a good day today.
Yeah, it's going to be great.
I think you and I are going to have a lot of fun.
Oh my gosh. And here's the thing, folks, if you're working, if you're busy, you need to calm down. You need to put your work down.
Send a reply all.
Yeah, no.
Send a company-wide email.
We need you on so many things. We need to hear about your barn burner, bridge burner, company-wide email. We also, Mason Jar was in a predicament on the trip.
Okay.
And we're going to talk about this predicament. And I'm sure it's a predicament we've all been in before in the car. And I need to know what you guys would have done. And I'll tell you what he did.
Oh, this sound like you haven't told me what the story is yet, but I can't wait to hear it. We'll get into it a little bit later. Amy Markscore is back from her vacation. This is your third for the year. Third, it's since the beginning of January. So Amy is back. I am still here. Let's do it. 314.
Let's do it.
A show. Let's do a show. 314-436-7900. It's Chris and Amy back together again on KMOX.
We go where you go. 1120 AM, 98.7 FM, KMOX.com.
Hi there. I'm Andrew McCollum, CEO of Philo. The best way to watch your favorite movies, shows, and live TV for just $25 a month. We like to think of Philo as the future of television, a future where you don't get charged extra for features like unlimited recording or watching on multiple screens, a future without long contracts or constant price increases. Just ask our existing subscribers that have never seen their price go up in over 5 years. A future without having to wait on hold for hours just to talk to a customer service representative. At Philo, anytime you need us, day or night, you'll always have a real person to help you, usually in under a minute. You might even get me answering the phone. Hopefully you'll never have to call because in our version of the TV future, everything just works. With more than 70 channels, plus thousands of hours of content on demand, there's something for everyone to love. So why wait to experience the future of television? Signing up for a free trial takes seconds. Just head over to philo.com/Andrew. That's philo.com/Andrew.
Hi, I'm Henry Winkler. My eyes are very important to me. My eyes connect me with things I love. I loved my late father-in-law dearly. He always lit up a room, but his vision dimmed with age. He had age-related macular degeneration, or AMD. And since partnering with Apellis, I've learned there's an advanced form of the disease called geographic atrophy, or GA. His struggle with vision loss made me want to help others know about GA's warning signs. For some, straight lines seem wavy, like when looking at a door frame. For others, blurry or missing spots can make it hard to read or see loved ones' faces. Many have trouble seeing in low light, making driving at night difficult. GA gets worse over time and cannot be reversed. If you've been diagnosed with AMD and notice vision changes, don't wait. Talk to your eye doctor about GA today. Learn more at GAWon'tWait.com. That's GAWon'tWait.com.
When you want a brand new kitchen, there's nothing to it. There's a brand new way to do it. 3-Day Kitchen and Bath.
Maureen talks about her experience using 3-Day Kitchen and Bath.
I had for years been dreaming how I wanted my kitchen down to every detail. When 3-Day Kitchen and Bath came, they were thrilled to death that I knew exactly what I wanted. They came back with a drawing and it was perfect. It was exactly what I wanted. They came in, they did their thing, and it turned out as perfect as I imagined it. The quality of it is beautiful. It's amazing. It is beautiful. They were efficient. They were trustworthy. The recommendations were unquestionable. And they were going to do exactly what I wanted. I had a lovely experience.
Start your remodel today by visiting 3daykitchen.com.
At 3-Day Kitchen and Bath.
They're putting the finishing touches on the brand new Genesis of St. Charles brick and mortar building, the first standalone Genesis showroom in the state of Missouri. But don't wait to experience Genesis. Right now, Genesis of St. Charles is offering rates as low as 4.49% on select 2024 Genesis models and a $1,000 incentive if you already own a Highline vehicle. The excitement is building at Genesis of St. Charles, where they make amazing happen. Get more information at genesisofstcharles.com.
Let's ring in the new year by checking off an important to-do. Your old videotapes and photos are fading as each year passes. VCRs are becoming extinct, and the clock is ticking to save your family's most cherished memories. Hi, I'm Adam Baselogger.
And I'm Nick Mako. We started Legacy Box to help you preserve your captured moments by converting all your videotapes, photos, and even film reels into perfectly preserved digital files.
Legacy Box is the easiest resolution to do and can be done in minutes. Just fill your Legacy Box, send it in, and we'll send it back with your memories perfectly preserved.
Legacy Box is the world's largest digitizer of home movies and photos. All the work is done right here in the USA, and over 1 million customers have trusted Legacy Box.
Let's kick off the new year right by rescuing your memories that haven't been watched or enjoyed in years.
Order your Legacy Box today.
Go to legacybox.com/value to get an incredible 50% off your Legacy Box. That's legacybox.com/value for 50% off. legacybox.com/value.
Rich Orris hosts the Kingdom OX Home Improvement Show, presented by Mosby Building Arts. Saturday at 11 on the Voice of St. Louis, Kingdom OX.
Chris and Amy show on KMOX. Good to have you with us today on this Thursday. We do have Major Garrett joining us after the 10:30 news. A little bit of breaking news coming in the last few minutes, Amy. Mm-hmm. Adam Wainwright, our guy, Adam Wainwright, and you remember he'd done some analysis, some analyst work for, I believe it was Fox, over the last few years when the Cardinal season was over. He has been hired as a full-time analyst for Fox Baseball. So he's going to do a bunch of games this year. That's really, really
Nice.
cool.
Yeah, he's good. I liked him on the call. Or not the call, but on the broadcast.
There are very few individuals
Mhm.
who played the sport. See, all these guys are really good at baseball. You don't make it to the major leagues unless you're really good at baseball. But not everybody. And in fact, I would say a small percentage of players are really good at explaining the game. They're
Right.
good at playing it and good at doing it, but it's very difficult to explain to the masses what's going on, why it's going on, and what the thought
And honestly,
processes are.
sometimes the better you are, the more naturally gifted you are, the more naturally the game comes to you, the more difficult it is to describe or to explain to people who don't play,
Yeah.
or to people who maybe play at a lower level.
And
It's very difficult.
to make it not sound too in the weeds,
Right.
because a lot of it can be jargon that doesn't make sense. I remember there's a Paul Konerko who was a really good hitter, like not Hall of Fame caliber, but really, really good hitter, long career. And one time a guy I knew who was a reporter asked him, hey, what was it was a thought process about something to do with hitting. And Paul said in the nicest way possible, he said, I could explain this to you, but you're not going to understand it.
Yeah.
And then I think he felt bad. And about a half hour later, he came back and said, that sounded rude. And I wasn't trying to be rude. It's just so technical.
Yeah.
And what we do is it's difficult. So I can't really make it sound good and have people understand it.
Yeah. Well, and I think
It's a talent to be able to do it.
it is. I mean, and that goes with really any field or study, because I think I learned the most when it came to, teaching literature and teaching writing. I learned the most when I had to explain concepts, especially higher level or analytical concepts, to the youngest grades. And unless you can explain it to an 8-year-old, you might not know it as well as you think you do. That challenged me more than anything. If you and I kind of get a certain concept about a sport or about the business, we assume we operate from a base level of understanding and move on from there. But to explain that base level of understanding to someone else is much more difficult. It's whether you're in engineering or whatever your field may be. And you also have to be able to communicate rather concisely and be entertaining and likable. There are a lot of elements that go into it. You have to, because you can be analytical and logical, but if you aren't entertaining, it's not going to work, because ultimately it's entertainment.
And you would think that pitchers would be really, really good at it. Catchers would be good at it just because they, the game plan they have to go through prior to a game just to get ready for it. You would think that would foster an environment for them where they would be able to do the job really well, but not everybody can. Wainwright was really good in the opportunities he got, and it's really cool to see that he's going to get a whole lot more.
All right, I want to touch on this, speaking of entertainment, because I've been able to use a treadmill again for the first time in a while, and I've got a little TV set up in the garage, and I feel like a queen in her castle in the garage with a treadmill and a TV. And so I've been absorbing an enormous amount of cable television and watching Fox and CNN and just absorbing more than I've ever watched before. Here's the thing. I don't know if you've been following the Georgia District Attorney Fani Willis scandal. So Fani Willis she's the one who brought election interference related charges against Trump. And she was really praised. I mean, Rachel Maddow had a conniption fit by how great she was and how assertive she is. I think it was Time Magazine wrote a hagiography story about her. But as it turns out, she was, according to court documents, she had been having an improper, quote, improper or illicit affair with a special prosecutor, Nathan Wade, whom she hired to help prosecute the 2024 GOP frontrunner and Donald Trump. So what happened here is basically she might have potentially delayed the Trump prosecution to ensure that she could hire her boyfriend, who, compared to the other prosecutors, is way less qualified in this position. And she was paying him way more than the other more qualified prosecutors. The Daily Beast had a story, why we can't just shrug off the Fani Willis scandal. If the DA prosecuting Trump prolonged an investigation to justify a hefty salary for a romantic partner, that is a genuine conflict of interest that would require her dismissal. Not only did she pay him more? She was paying him upwards of $100 an hour more than she was paying the other attorneys. And he doesn't have any experience in this type of case. And as I was watching this, and of course, this was being looked at in depth on Fox News, all I could think of was, oh my gosh, the GOP has lost its mind. We don't have a healthy Republican Party. We need desperately a healthy Democratic Party, and all you have to do is be normal. Just clock in, clock out, and don't have a big scandal.
Yeah.
And this scandal, all it does is, one, it is wrong. It is a huge conflict of interest. It looks corrupt that she's paying hundreds of thousands of taxpayer dollars to an unqualified lover. That's wrong. But all you have to do is clock in, clock out, and do your job, because the Republican Party and Trump, we're bad enough. Why is everybody so perverse? It's like when Kim Gardner was prosecuting Eric Greitens, all she had to do was not lie. Just don't lie. Just take notes and don't lie.
You had
she
enough.
Messed it
You
up.
had enough.
She had enough.
Enough material. You don't
Fani
need to
Willis has
overdo it.
enough.
And I agree with you. None of this means she doesn't have a case against Trump, because she absolutely appears to have one. But and I don't think it says anything greater about the party as a whole. But man, I can't disagree with you on this. Just be on the up and up. It isn't that difficult.
So listen,
it isn't. It isn't to make a case against somebody and to do it by the book every step of the way and leave no possibility. Look, the other side is going to try to find anything to try to discredit the case. They'll find anything. Don't give them ammo. Just don't. This isn't difficult. And you're right about this. I don't understand why it's so hard for people to do things by the book.
It's crazy. So again, according to the Daily Beast, the other two special prosecutors are incredibly qualified. Anna Cross is a former DeKalb County assistant district attorney who handled dozens of felony appeals. The other guy, John Floyd, is considered Georgia's leading expert on state RICO prosecutions and helped draft the law. Combined, they billed $116,000. Wade, with almost no qualifications, billed almost $700,000 and is dating Fani Willis.
And by the way, there have been prominent conservatives who have said that the GBI, the Georgia Bureau investigation, is investigating her. They say they are not. So anyway, we'll see what happens there. We've got Major Garrett next on KMOX.
I'm going away till the midnight hour. This is Frank Morano, host of The Other Side of Midnight. Have you ever seen The Other Side of Midnight, either because you can't sleep or because you're up early? Well, I am ready to keep you company. Live radio is back, baby. We've got fun interviews, great stories, and your calls. Weekdays at midnight on the Voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
It's time for a $98 furnace tune-up.
Hard work, dedication, and dreams. These are the keystones of success. But easily filing your taxes with TurboTax and Credit Karma doesn't hurt either. And getting your max refund guarantee definitely doesn't hurt. But let others think you did a lot of hard work to file your taxes when in reality, it was a walk in the park. No, you literally filed while walking your dog in the park. Winner! Because some key info is pre-filled for you, so you can file quickly and confidently like the boss that you are. So give yourself the peace of mind that comes with getting expert help, because you're going places. Let's go. And make tax season feel like it's award season with easy filing. Yeah! Know that you're backed by the leading tax preparer, TurboTax, and we'll show you all your filing options up front, so there are no surprises. Feel accomplished and confident that your taxes are done right. File an Intuit Credit Karma today. Yeah. Expert help not available with all products. Guarantee details available at turbotax.com/guarantees.
Hi, this is Ken.
And Lori Heisey of Heisey Advisory Group. We're dedicated to helping individuals and families work toward their financial goals.
Join us Sundays at 9:30 a.m. for Your Retirement Highway.
Investment advisory services by individuals through AE Wealth Management, LLC.
Do you have heart failure and often hear,
Those stomach issues ruined your birthday.
You're too tired to play catch, Grandpa.
Sweetie, you haven't touched your tools since the carpal tunnel syndrome diagnosis.
If these seemingly unrelated symptoms sound familiar, talk to your cardiologist. Ask about transthyretin amyloid cardiomyopathy, or ATTR-CM, a rare and underdiagnosed disease that gets worse over time. Learn more at yourheartcomesfirst.com. That's yourheartcomesfirst.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
At 10:30, we have partly sunny skies, 33 degrees downtown at the Arch. I'm Megan Lynch. Pakistan's Air Force has launched retaliatory airstrikes in Iran. The attack early Thursday killed at least 9 people and further raised tensions between the neighboring nations. They follow Iran's attack Tuesday on Pakistani soil that killed 2 children. The strikes imperiled diplomatic relations between the two neighbors as Iran and nuclear-armed Pakistan have long regarded each other with suspicion over militant attacks. They also raised the threat of violence spreading in a Middle East unsettled by Israel's war with Hamas in the Gaza Strip. Instagram says it will begin nudging teenagers using its app after 10 p.m. that maybe they need to take a break. CBS News tech contributor Ian Shearer has more.
Instagram has increasingly tried to position itself as a responsible social network. And that means, in part, making sure stuff like bad behavior and harassment, as well as addiction issues, are addressed in some way.
They're seen as foreshadowing the Oscars. From London, CBS's Vicky Barker tells us who's been nominated for BAFTA acting honors.
This is the best day ever. It is the best day ever.
Margot Robbie picks up a Best Leading Actress BAFTA nomination alongside Poor Things star Emma Stone, Carey Mulligan for Maestro, and Fantasia Barrino for The Color Purple.
I love people so much that it's hard for me to be alone.
Bradley Cooper's among the leading actor nominees for Maestro, alongside Barry Keoghan for Saltburn and Paul Giamatti for The Holdovers. Vicky Barker, CBS News, London.
Checking the forecast for today, it's going to be cloudy with a high near 40. Cloudy tonight, snow likely, maybe an inch of accumulation. Windy as well with an overnight low near 10. Right now, we have 32 degrees both in Florissant and St. Peters. Partly sunny skies, 33 downtown at the Arch. I'm Megan Lynch, KMOX News.
Hi, I'm PJ Vogt, here to tell you about my new podcast, Search Engine. On Search Engine, we tackle the kinds of questions that keep you up at night. Like, why are drug dealers putting fentanyl in everything? Should we be worried that Elon Musk believes that we're living in a simulation? And, for the love of God, is it actually unsafe to drink the coffee on airplanes? On Search Engine, no question is too big and no question is too small. Listen and follow Search Engine with PJ Vogt and Odyssey Podcast. Available now on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertisements.
I'm Jim Onder. Not all law firms are created equal. Don't risk your future with just any firm. See how Onder Law is different.
Onder Law. Call 314 or 618-9000 to learn more.
Broadcasting from the Onder Law Injury Lawyers, GetJim.com studios.
KMOX.
Audi Kirkwood is under construction, and our savings are through the roof. During our construction sales event, shop over 500 new Audis and get up to 10% off MSRP, complimentary home delivery, plus 4.99% financing on most remaining new 2023 Audi vehicles, including models like the Q8, Q5, e-tron, and more. Sales and service departments are open during normal business hours. Shop AudiKirkwood.com or visit us on Manchester Road in Kirkwood.
Cards issued by Sutton Bank and Celtic Bank, members FDIC. Terms and conditions apply. Are you the decision maker in your company? Consider this. For the first time in decades, there's a better option for a corporate card and spend management platform. Meet Ramp, the only corporate card and spend management system designed to help you spend less money so you can make more. Most corporate credit cards offer points as incentives, but those points amount to less than their worth in real cash value. Ramp's corporate cards offer you cash back, real money in your pocket. Plus, you control who spends what with each vendor. And Ramp's software collects and verifies receipts automatically, which means you'll stop wasteful spending and close your books in hours instead of days. Businesses that use Ramp add up to 5% to their bottom line the first year. If you're a decision maker, adding Ramp could be one of the best decisions you've ever made. And now get $250 when you join Ramp. Just go to ramp.com/free. Ramp.com/free. RAMP.com/free.
It's NFL divisional round action this weekend. Saturday, it's the Texans and Ravens beginning at 3, followed by the Packers and 49ers. And Sunday at 4, the Chiefs face the Bills. NFL playoff football this weekend. Hear the games here on your home for Chiefs football, KMOX.
Chris and Amy show on KMOX, and it is Thursday, just after 10:30, which means it is time to go to the Quiver River Electric Guest Line. Major Garrett is the chief Washington correspondent for CBS News, author of The Big Truth, Upholding Democracy in the Age of the Big Lie, and the host of 2 successful podcasts, The Takeout and The Agent of Betrayal.
And one unsuccessful one. That's not
Is
true.
there a third?
No, that's what it sounded like. 2 successful and 1 moderately successful.
No, just
That's
two hugely successful. The other one is The Agent of Betrayal, The Double Life of Robert Hansen, and Major is with us this morning. Good morning, Major.
Good morning, and good morning, Amy. Nice to hear your voice
Yeah,
again.
right?
It's been a while.
It has. Hey, Major, was that you sledding on Capitol Hill yesterday?
No, I was not sledding on Capitol Hill yesterday.
Okay.
So I did not know that it was something like 150 years it was outlawed. You couldn't sled down Capitol Hill, but now you can do it again?
So I've lived here since 1990, and there are 2 traditions that I've always been aware of, though not experienced, when there's the first big snowfall. A snowball fight on the National Mall and people sledding down Capitol Hill. And Capitol Police, I think they could technically say no, but they usually look the other way and let kids and let people sled down. I mean, why not? What's the problem? So it's been something that I have seen and witnessed. I'm usually, well, no, not usually, always at work, so I skip that. But it happens.
Yeah,
and it's fun. It's fun. And trust me.
I mean, look, nothing bad ever happens when people get close to the Capitol. So, hey,
come on now,
All right.
come on.
And the sledding is not the biggest scandal.
No, it's not.
You're never going to believe what happened in Washington, D.C.
So-
Sledding.
You got a snowstorm coming, huh? And things are shut down?
So this is interesting. I have often been amazed at the Washington, D.C. area's terror of snow. The lion-hearted capital of the global war on terrorism shuts down with a quarter inch of snow.
Mm-hmm.
It just does. Everything comes to a grinding halt. Even when the snow doesn't fall, if it's just projected to fall, things start tightening up. So and look, when I first moved here in the early 90s, it was worse because there was a mayor of the District of Columbia that some people might remember the name of, Marion Barry, who didn't invest in any of the infrastructure necessary to plow streets. So streets would go unplowed for days upon days upon days. And that was a serious issue. We have the plows now, and everyone's very well dialed in on how to prepare, how to salt, how to plow, and yet still everything shuts down. I was just in Iowa, and that was by far the coldest weather I've ever dealt with in my many, many trips to Iowa for the caucuses dating back to 1996. There was a reason those people in Iowa didn't see any local reporters reporting on the weather outside because it was too dangerous to do it. It was literally 20 or 30 degrees below zero, massively cold, the kind of cold that would not only take your breath away, but felt like you were being punched in the face when you walked outside. Massively cold. Here it's like 30. It's balmy. I'm ready to go out in my shorts. It's so nice by comparison. There is, however, one good thing that will come from this projected mini little teeny eensy beensy snowstorm. All the members of Congress want to catch their flights tomorrow. So they're going to vote to keep the government open today. So they're afraid of the snow. They don't want to be delayed. Goodness knows having their flight delayed would just be so terrible. Of course, that's what we all deal with, regular people. But anyway, they're going to accelerate their legislative consideration, pass a continuing resolution, keep the government open, and then get out of town.
Well, I guess that's finally self-interest working in the people's favor.
Nice translation, Amy. Nice translation.
There was also Congress announced a major tax deal to expand child tax credit. It also would resurrect some tax breaks for businesses. This was a bipartisan agreement between the House and the Senate. Is that something that will be voted on?
Not this week, but
Okay.
but eventually. But eventually, and boy, that was sort of a surprise in the sense that election years tend not to produce big legislative outcomes. This was, and oftentimes when there are tax cuts for businesses that need to be extended, it's not really a vehicle for other things that are on the lower end of the economic scale to be added into it, but this one is. It's a nice bipartisan deal. It will not be on this week's agenda. It will probably be up for consideration. It may be altered as it moves to the House and Senate, but it does seem to have a bit of momentum for sure.
The Ukraine funding bill, which was agreed upon in the Senate, Speaker Mike Johnson has been indicating that it's probably DOA. What will happen there?
So first of all, the Senate has to put together border policy changes and vote on them and pass them as part of this. And then the House Republicans have to evaluate whether or not that they want to vote for them. That's not the only question. The bigger question is, will the House Republican leadership put that bill on the floor? Because if they put it on the floor, it doesn't matter if 60 or 70 or 80 House Republicans vote against it, or even 150. Almost all Democrats would vote for it, or most Democrats would vote for it. Again, the specificity of these policy changes will matter a great deal, because some progressive Democrats certainly don't want the Biden administration to go as far as House Republicans want on changes to asylum or remain in Mexico or any sorts of things that would, from their perspective, over aggressively limit legitimate asylum claims and entries into the United States. So this is a classic example where the fine print really, really matters. And the Senate negotiators on this part of the spending package, which is Ukraine, Israel, Asia Pacific, border, and then border policy, those pieces of fine print have to be analyzed. They have to get to the Senate on a really big vote, and then come to the House, and then House Republican leaders would decide whether or not to put it on the floor. Because if they put it on the floor, there's a chance it could pass. The Biden White House wants this and wants this badly. And trust me, the Biden White House wants money for Ukraine, wants money for Israel, but it wants to be able to say something different about immigration and the crisis at the border than it can say now before the State of the Union first week of March. And so there is an imperative. There is a super big political imperative for the White House to get this done. The politics of navigating that, though, very, very difficult.
The politics also of navigating what's happening near the Suez Canal with Houthi rebels, and also now Iran, the world's largest state sponsor of terror, going at it with Pakistan, which is a complicated nuclear semi-ally of the United States. I imagine this is something that the Biden administration is watching closely, but also doesn't want to escalate for global safety issues, but also for an election year.
For sure, and they're very separate. What's happening between Pakistan and Iran is their separate deal. Tit for tat, retaliation for things that are quite separate from and are not in any way connected to the sort of three-layered game of chess the Iranians are trying to play between the Palestinians in Gaza and the West Bank and Israel and their Hezbollah allies in Lebanon. Those are completely separate. And whatever goes on between Pakistan and Iran, I think the Biden administration is going to keep an eye on, but basically say that's your problem and that's your interest. And we've got so many other things we need to worry about. And starting with the disruption of global shipping through the Red Sea and the Suez Canal by Houthi rebels. There have now been 4 coalition led by the United States attacks on Houthi arms caches to try to stop them or at least inhibit them from waging these harassing attacks on global shipping. There's a lot of conversation at the World Economic Forum in Davos, and I was reading through some of the CEO comments there about this, and they said, what's interesting, and this is the CEOs in the energy sector at the World Economic Forum saying this, there hasn't been a global price spike in oil for a couple of reasons. One, the ability of the United States to supply its own oil and to export it in certain cases, which is a good thing. You would know that if you listen to former President Trump, as he keeps saying that Biden is holding back U.S. energy production. There's now more oil production in the United States now under the Biden administration than there was under the Trump administration. It's a hard fact. You can look it up. And that's stabilizing global oil prices. Plus, there is a sense that the disruptions are temporary enough and are not being priced in as permanent that there hasn't been a price adjustment. That's why the U.S. and the coalition is trying to knock back the Houthis, because it's been a short-term irritant that they do not want to become a long-term irritant. And this is about the third or the three-layer game of chess the Iranians are doing. They are subsidizing the Houthis to harass global shipping. Why? Why? To encourage the United States to pressurize Israel to back off in Gaza. That's the Iranian game. And it's the same game they're playing with Hezbollah, firing rockets into Israel, using pressure points that it knows the United States will pay attention to and has other interests involved separate than the alliance with Israel to pressurize Israel to change its military approach in Gaza. That's the whole game. And that's where we are. And it is difficult, and it is combustible, and it is continuing to get hotter, not colder, not only in Gaza, but the West Bank, Lebanon, and the Red Sea. So it is a massively complicated issue.
Will you be going to New Hampshire?
Mm-hmm. I fly up Saturday, and I will be anchoring our streaming America Decides coverage all Tuesday evening at the New Hampshire primary. So I will be present, reporting, and anchoring all through the weekend and Tuesday night.
And who's on the takeout this week?
So his birth name is Joe Cartagena. He's also known as Joey Crack, but he's best known in rap circles as Fat Joe.
Yeah.
Why would I have Fat Joe on the takeout? Well, because he's
you're
interesting.
awesome.
He's super interesting. Grammy-nominated rapper, super well known in the 90s and early 2000s. He's now part of a large coalition of entertainers and artists who want something that most Americans want: medical price transparency. And he was all over Capitol Hill last week, meeting with lawmakers, senators, and House members about this issue. So we talked to Fat Joe about that, his rap career, a lot about Taylor Swift. He's a big fan. I guess, aren't we all? And that's on the takeout this weekend.
Major Garrett, we look forward to talking to you. Enjoy New Hampshire, and we'll talk again next Thursday.
We will. See ya.
That is Major Garrett, Chief Washington Correspondent for CBS News. Again, his podcasts are The Takeout and Agent of Betrayal. His book, The Big Truth, Upholding Democracy in the Age of the Big Lie. Amy, I don't know about you, I have a signed copy.
Oh, wait a minute. I do too.
That's Amy Marks' course. I'm Chris Ranji, always trying to one-up me, isn't she? On KMOX.
Jackson Hewitt has a plan to get your tax refund fast with a buck here, buck there, here a buck, there a buck, everywhere buck.
You don't have to wait weeks for your tax refund. Get money sooner with a no-fee refund advance loan at Jackson Hewitt.
On this loan, there's a money today guarantee. E-I-E-I-DO.
Don't settle for chicken feed. Get fast bucks at Jackson Hewitt today. No-fee refund advance loans by Republic Bank offered to eligible clients. Money today guarantee if approved for a loan on a prepaid card. Details at jacksonhewitt.com.
Do you find yourself stuck in a timeshare? Get the real facts about the timeshare industry and your options for cancellation. Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, has put together a free information guide that reveals the secrets the timeshare industry doesn't want you to know, including the 5 ways to get rid of your timeshare. Call now and get this timeshare cancellation guide absolutely free.
Call 800-838-6161. That's 800-838-6161. 800-838-6161.
Hey, this is Charlie Brennan. If you have exposed brick or stone in your garage, basement, or fireplace, this is a great time to call Morelli Tuck Pointing. Of course, tuck pointing on the outside of your house is often not possible in the winter, but inside, the Morelli team can keep working 12 months a year. What's tuck pointing? Well, it's the removal of old mortar and the replacement of new mortar on a wall or chimney. Sometimes that mortar can become loose, missing, or deeply eroded. We've used the Morelli team to tuck point the Brennan home numerous times. So if you live in a brick or stone home in need of repair, call the company that's received the Angie's List Super Service Award every year, back to back to back, since 2005. Morelli, the masonry specialists. Check out their reviews on the Google, Angie's List, and Better Business Bureau websites. Call 314-645-1387. Morelli Tuck Pointing,
Join KMOX for an exclusive evening at Tapawingo Golf Club with St. Louis Cardinals manager Oliver Marmol and Oliver Marmol Unplugged. For just $75, enjoy a delightful beef tenderloin dinner, 2 complimentary drinks, and insightful discussions hosted by Tom Ackerman. Gain unique insights into being the Cardinals manager and what he expects for the 2024 season. Secure your tickets now at KMOX.com/events. Oliver Marmol Unplugged. Don't miss this special evening at Tapawingo Golf Club, January 18th.
Paid for by government.com. Did you know the United States Mint has issued a new Morgan silver dollar coin in proof condition for the first time? Not only that, they are also minted in 99.9% pure silver for the first time ever in history. Coin experts are calling this an amazing opportunity for anyone that knows the enduring popularity of Morgans. But you must hurry. Only 400,000 of these legal tender silver dollars were issued. These first ever Morgan silver dollars are brand new with stunning mirror-like finish, minted by the iconic San Francisco Mint. Call now and you're guaranteed a new first ever 99.9% pure silver proof Morgan dollar. To learn more, call 1-800-888-7630. If you order now, you will receive a free coin collector bonus pack, a $25 value, free with every order. Call 1-888-7630 now to secure your new Morgan silver dollars before they are gone. That's 1-800-888-7630.
When you retire, you leave a lot behind. The daily grind, the long commute, and yes, even the alarm clock. But the one thing that you take with you, a tax bill. Oh, and did you know that income taxes could be your single largest expense in retirement? Good news, though. Steve All and his team at the All Financial Group, they can show you ways to pay less to Uncle Sam with the right tax planning. Kick off 2024 with a new tax plan and potentially more money in your pocket and less in Uncle Sam's. Join Steve and the team for this exclusive educational workshop focusing solely on taxes in retirement. Join us January 25th or January 30th at Stone Summit. These events are complimentary, but you must qualify to attend. Call 636-230-8824 or visit yourmoneymattersstl.com. Investment advisory products and services made available through Impact Partnership Wealth, LLC, a registered investment advisor. Neither the firm nor its agents or representatives may give tax or legal advice.
Hey, it's Tom Ackerman for the Bath Authority. If your bath or shower is old, outdated, has mold and mildew, or broken tiles, you have to call my friends at the Bath Authority. The Bath Authority provides the highest quality bathroom remodeling products along with a world-class customer experience. It comes with a lifetime warranty, walk-in tubs, replacement showers, tub-to-shower conversions, and more. TheBathAuthority.com. A better bath awaits.
Del Walmsley and the Wealth Cycle.
This is the wealth cycle that I've taught for 30 years. Buy one house, 10 houses, an apartment, 2 apartments, 8, 20, 500 units, 1,000 units, 2,000, 5,000 units. And as you keep putting the money and the profits back in, you become one of those rich people. And much quicker than you'd even believe.
Learn Dell's Wealth Cycle at GiveMeTotalFreedom.com. Use promo code 2024. Save 60%. Code 2024. GiveMeTotalFreedom.com. GiveMeTotalFreedom.com.
Can't wait for weeks to get your tax refund? Then don't. At Jackson Hewitt, get money today if you're approved for a no-fee refund advance loan on a prepaid card. Book today at JacksonHewitt.com. No-fee refund advanced offered to eligible clients. Application required. Loans by Republic Bank. Details at JacksonHewitt.com.
The greatest radio talk show host ever.
Chris Ranji, Amy Marks Kors on KMOX.
Did you see that thing? I can't believe it. Something is obviously wrong.
This is a joke, right?
Oh my God. Are you freaking kidding me? No way.
You gotta be kidding me. Don't feel bad. There's no way you could have known that.
Now, did you see this with Chris and Amy on the show?
Hey, Ron, did you see? We did get a message on our Facebook live stream of the show.
Yeah, we stream live on Facebook and YouTube.
We do.
You can watch us.
Raymond James
voiced
his opinion when we were talking about the Fonnie Willis case and how she's paying her unqualified boyfriend more than the other prosecutors. Quote, Amy, she is paying him the same amount as the other two she hired. Get the facts straight. Fox never does. Well, Raymond, this story that I quoted about her not paying the same rate to her prosecutors and paying her boyfriend far more than the others. That's from Andrew Fleischman, a lawyer at Sessions and Fleischman who wrote the story for the Daily Beast. So thanks for trying. Okay, Ranj, did you see this? You're a watch guy.
Love them.
You love watches.
I love the old mechanical, the automatic watches.
Yes.
And some digital watches I like.
Arnold Schwarzenegger is facing criminal tax proceedings after failing to declare hold on, I got this. Audemars Piguet.
Audemars Piguet. Yeah,
Audemars Piguet.
yeah.
Audemars Piguet.
It's a really expensive brand.
It's an expensive
It's
watch.
one of the Holy Trinity brands.
Like with Rolex?
No,
Oh.
it's above that. It's there are 3 watch brands considered Holy Trinity. It's Audemars Piguet, Vacheron Constantin, and
Timex.
No, not Timex. Oh God, why can't I think of the other one?
Casio.
Not Casio. Anyway, keep talking and
Okay.
I'll get to it.
So he arrived.
Patek Philippe.
Patek
That's it.
Philippe.
They're very
Sounds
expensive.
like a hockey player. And Patek Philippe
Yeah.
with the goal. Okay. Well, he went to Germany, and a Munich customs press officer reported to CNN that Arnold Schwarzenegger did not declare this product. He was detained for more than 2 hours. Apparently, he had this Audemars Piguet
Close enough.
close enough, and was going to potentially, it's his, and he was going to maybe sell it at an auction. It's the declaring that stresses me out. I don't think, would I have thought, do they ask you if you have anything worth over $2,000?
I don't know.
Because
I would have never.
one time I declared a Cliff Bar, and
What?
yeah, because I was so nervous about not declaring, and the customs agent's like, why would you declare this? I'm like, I don't know, because there's nuts in it. I don't know.
I don't. Yeah, I don't know.
You don't have to do that.
I wouldn't know what to do with that. That's really interesting.
Yeah. So anyway, he was held for 2 hours, and now he has to face criminal tax proceedings.
Did you see, Amy, that Clayco, local construction company, is prohibiting its employees from flying on Boeing 737 MAX 9s?
Yikes.
Yes. So that's not great.
That's not great.
Well, we know that the accidents, the mechanical issues the Boeing 737 MAX 9 has had lately, Clayco says, nope, you're not going on those planes.
That's smart.
Yeah.
It's smart.
You don't want
wanna
anything bad
get
to happen to you.
Sucked out the door plug.
Hey, we're talking to Steve Hackett next.
Oh, baby.
Guitarist with Genesis. He's on his own, man. He's unbelievable, and he joins us next on KMOX.
Don't miss out on limited time appliance deals during the closeout event at Lowe's. For a limited time, get up to 35% off select major appliances. Plus, get an additional 20% off in-store clearance appliances. Hurry, these deals are too good to last long. Shop in-store or online today because Lowe's knows deals. Lowe's knows home improvement. Valid 12/28/23 through 1/3/24. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. See Lowe's.com for details.
At Grainger, we're for the ones who specialize in saving the day and for the ones who've mastered the art of keeping business moving. We offer industrial-grade supplies for every industry with same-day pickup and next-day delivery on most orders, all backed by real people ready to help. So you can get the right answers and products right when you need them. Call quickgrainger.com or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Paid for by government.com. Did you know the United States Mint has issued a new Morgan silver dollar coin in proof condition for the first time? Not only that, they are also minted in 99.9% pure silver for the first time ever in history. Coin experts are calling this an amazing opportunity for anyone that knows the enduring popularity of Morgans. But you must hurry. Only 400,000 of these legal tender silver dollars were issued. These first ever Morgan silver dollars are brand new with stunning mirror-like finish. Minted by the iconic San Francisco Mint. Call now and you're guaranteed a new first ever 99.9% pure silver proof Morgan dollar. To learn more, call 1-800-888-7630. If you order now, you will receive a free coin collector bonus pack, a $25 value, free with every order. Call 1-888-7630 now to secure your new Morgan silver dollars before they are gone. That's 1-800-888-7630.
KMOX, KECK HD2, K254CR, St. Louis.
The home of the Cardinals, KMOX. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
What better way to support your nutrition than with the multivitamin that was created right here in St. Louis? Neovitin Original Multivitamin was created by St. Louis physician Dr. Abicki to support his own nutrition when he needed it most. Now, Neovitin Original Multivitamin is formulated with sensible doses of vitamins, minerals, antioxidants, and Dr. Abicki's proprietary blend to give you nutritional support you won't find anywhere else. Neovitin is now conveniently available through our no-obligation monthly subscription. Cancel or pause at any time, and shipping is free. Support your nutrition with a subscription to Neovitin at neovitin.com today.
Hey, Cardinal Cowboy here. 67 years ago, Renner Garage Door opened its first location. Fast forward to today, Renner is proud to serve the entire St. Louis metro area, St. Charles, South County, and Eastern Illinois. When you buy a Renner Garage Door, you know you're getting the best sales and service. Renner only uses premium components for their wide selection of garage doors and LiftMaster openers. Visit RennerDoorSTL.com or give them a call. Renner welcomes you to become part of the family. Renner forward and back. RENNER. Giddy up.
Mid-America's most trusted source for news. KMOX.
At 11 o'clock, we have sunny skies, 34 degrees downtown at the Arch. I'm Megan Lynch. It's been a while since jobless claims are as low as they are now. Bankrate.com's Mark Hamrick has the latest numbers from the Labor Department.
The latest snapshot of the job market finds a noteworthy decline in new claims for unemployment benefits. The Labor Department reports initial claims for jobless benefits declined by 16,000 last week to 187,000. That's the lowest level in more than a year. Claims were last at this low level in September 2022.
A cascading failure is how a new report from the U.S. Department of Justice describes the law enforcement response to the school shooting in Uvalde, Texas in May 2022. That shooting led to the deaths of 19 students and 2 teachers.
The report concludes the hundreds of police officials who responded to the deadly shooting at Robb Elementary in Uvalde demonstrated no urgency in setting up a command post and failed to treat the killings as an active shooter situation. The DOJ investigation was called for by Uvalde Mayor Don McLaughlin shortly after the shooting. It specifically identifies an array of problems from failed communication and leadership to inadequate technology and training that federal officials say contributed to the crisis lasting longer than it should have. Attorney General Merrick Garland in Uvalde meeting with the families of those killed. Chris Fox for CBS News, Austin.
Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker is defending the state's assault weapon registration program.
Governor Pritzker argues they aren't sure how many gun owners actually own assault weapons.
People want to say, well, there are 2.4 million FOID card holders. 2.4 million people do not own assault weapons. First, they're expensive. Second, it's a fraction of the 2.4 million people who have FOID cards that have an assault weapon, many of them having multiples of them.
The governor says the headline should be individuals with the intent of committing violent acts cannot purchase assault weapons in Illinois. Sean Malone, KMOX News.
Enough fentanyl was seized last year to kill every American, according to the Drug Enforcement Agency.
St. Louis's DEA Assistant Special Agent in charge is Joseph Dixon. He says fentanyl remains the deadliest drug threat facing our country. The DEA is attacking the problem at the root, namely the 2 drug cartels getting most of it into the U.S., but they're also trying to educate Americans.
If there is a user, there is a demand.
Fentanyl is a leading cause of death for Americans between 18 and 45.
There is a danger, and that danger is that one pill can kill.
Nearly 70% of drug poisonings are from fentanyl, and many don't even know they were taking it because it was laced into other drugs. The DEA marking its 50th anniversary this year. Debbie Monterey, KMOX News.
From the KMOX Business Desk, a sports economist says the bankruptcy deal for the Cards and Blues broadcast partner could mean more viewing options for fans now that Amazon has stepped in with financing.
We see more fans are switching to, younger fans in particular, switching to wanting to consume sports, and having that option of consuming sports as a streaming option gives fans more flexibility, mobility.
Patrick Risch is director of the sports business program in the Olin School of Business at Washington University. Risch says the MLB may not be thrilled about the deal. He says they were looking to take control of broadcast rights if the Diamond Valley Sports bankruptcy went through. The Dow from Stifel this hour down 66 points at 37,200. The S&P 500 is up 14 points at 4,754.
Intervals of clouds and sun this afternoon, high 42. Cloudy tonight, a period of snow later tonight will accumulate a quick coating of an inch, resulting in slippery travel. It'll become windy and much colder by morning with a low near 10. I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Joe Lundberg on the voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
Well, the sun has come out. We've got 34 degrees in Florissant, 35 in St. Peters, and 34 degrees downtown at the Arch. I'm Megan Lynch, KMOX News.
The Chris and Amy Show, sponsored by Summer at SLU. Find your kids' best summer yet at St. Louis University.
When the bell tolls another stroke, people love to smoke, come and go.
It's the Chris and Amy Show on KMOX. Amy Marks, Kors, and Chris Ranji. Good to have you with us, and it is good to go to the Quiver River Electric guest line today. We have legendary guitarist Steve Hackett with us. You may know him from, well, heck, he was in Genesis for a bit too. Steve Hackett is with us on KMOX. It is an honor to have you, Steve. How are you?
Very well, Chris. Nice to talk to you both.
It's great to talk to you. A new studio album is out for you called The Circus and the Night Whale. It is available next month. Tell us about it.
Sure, it's coming out on February the 16th, 2 days after Valentine's Day. The perfect present, of course. But yeah, it's a kind of a musical biography. It's narrative. It's a story. It's my life. It starts in 1950 with a sample of what radio sounded like at that time. So radio was very different in England in 1950. London was recovering from a lot of bombing. It was very polluted. It was very, very busy. And I grew up right in the center of it. And so the Smoke, People of the Smoke, that the track that you were playing an excerpt from, refers to Londoners. You know, London was the smoke. It was so polluted, and everything was coal fired, of course. And I grew up opposite the Battersea Power Station, which was many years later. Of course, Pink Floyd used that as the backdrop for the Flying Pig from the Animals album. But it was the biggest building in Europe, and it powered half of London. That thing, that was the thing that I saw when I looked out of my bedroom window from Churchill Gardens, the apartments that we lived in at that time. So the whole album is a life story in just over 45 minutes.
Does the album then evolve as your career evolved from the beginning, as you mentioned, with Smokey London, moving on through your career with Genesis and beyond?
Yeah, it brings in Genesis and really the circus is a euphemism for the music business. And of course, you know, there are certain similarities. Once you join a rock and roll band and you're living out of a suitcase for the next, you know, a decade or so, that's how life took shape for me. But it also goes through early love and escapades and various things, and the sort of claustrophobic nature of certain situations. You know, a band can get very possessive of its members. When Peter Gabriel was the lead singer at that time, he wanted to have a parallel solo career, but some of the guys in the band didn't want him to do that, so he ended up leaving. I had the same conundrum myself, but I figure I made the right choice, even though Genesis was a favorite band of John Lennon's. Around about that golden period of 72 to 73, when we had the album Foxtrot that I'm playing live, and Sending It by the Pound, he said he thought we were true sons of the Beatles. So I think of that as a golden period, which preceded my departure in 1977 from the band.
That must have been incredible to hear that compliment coming from John Lennon at that time. I mean,
yeah, it's the best review I've ever had. You know, that's it. So whatever anyone says about, you know, that period, he was turned on by it. So I'm forever grateful that was the case, because we were huge fans of the Beatles and still are.
And you mentioned the different eras that you played through, the seminal rock bands, the groundbreaking music. There is the element of of music, rock and roll, all of that. But then did you feel like you in your work, in your artistry, were doing something bigger, whether it was political or cultural or subversive? Because there so many cultural changes in those decades at which you were at the very top.
Well, actually, yes, I think both with Genesis and beyond that, there was social comment on the albums, there was humor, there was all sorts of things. But, I've been involved with some things that have been more political, Rock Against Repatriation and various things. And funnily enough, before the Russian invasion of Ukraine, we'd just done a track called Natalia, which was about Russian repression, and it was done in the style of, or the orchestration was in the style of Prokofiev meets Tchaikovsky and Stravinsky, as well as being a rock song. All the paradox is all coming out in that one tune. But yes, I think that you have to have a pan-genre approach. You have to be not afraid to have social comment and not afraid to do love songs, as well as not being afraid to do what guitarists do, which is to throw guitar salvos at people.
I can't speak for what was happening in the early 70s. I know now that when an artist does get political, whether it's a rock band or an individual, people tend to push back at them and say, you know what, I don't want to hear it. Just sing. And I don't know if there's ever really been a time where politics and music have been completely separate.
Well, that's true. That's folk music. It's Woody Guthrie. It's Bob Dylan, Blowing in the Wind, Peter, Paul and Mary, all of that early stuff, almost a sort of revivalist thing, where before Bob Dylan had become a truly electric artist, and there were those who took issue with that. But music has to evolve and move on. And of course, you've got the stunning work there lyrically from him, which influences the Beatles and takes it out of the boy-girl scenario, and music starts to grow up somewhat. So the pan-genre approach is what follows with people who are listening to jazz and classical and pop and rock, and they think all of those things are worth listening to. And that's how you end up with progressive stuff.
Steve, you have a lot of fans here, and especially there's a young producer. I don't know, might be 22?
I think he's 24.
24?
23, 24, yeah.
Matt Pajeski, so thrilled when he heard we were talking to you. He's got second row tickets for your show here in April. And he wanted me to ask you about, in your upcoming, or on your second album, you had two members of Kansas play with you, including Steve Walsh, and wanted to know how you went about asking to play with them, how you knew them, how that came about.
It's very interesting. They had just had a hit with Carry On Wayward Son and Dust in the Wind, and I thought they were a great band. I can't remember how I got in touch with, it was Phil Earhart playing drums, who worked, in a way, he was a kind of manager of the band as well. And in recent times, he's played some drums on my previous album, the one before this. But I thought they were great, and I was very lucky on that album. I had stunning singing from Richie Havens. Genesis were huge fans of Richie Havens, and he supported us on some really big London gigs that we were doing at the time, as we had supported him some years earlier. There was also Randy Crawford, who was the singer on Street Life. I don't believe that she'd had huge hits in America, but she became a huge star in not just the UK, but in Europe. So I had a great vocal team on that album.
We are visiting with guitarist Steve Hackett with us here on KMOX. We have another listener who is writing into the show and wants to know if you had ever been approached or had approached the members of Genesis for a reunion before. Phil's been dealing with some health issues, but had that ever been in the works?
Peter Gabriel was the original singer with the band, and I was approached by the band to rejoin to do Lamb Lies Down on Broadway and also do it as a musical. We all did get together, and then it seemed like there was an objection by one of the members of the band who said they thought that Lamb Lies Down on Broadway was far too complicated to make a musical. So that immediately lost Peter Gabriel's interest, and so so many great ideas, founder on the rock of band politics. Suddenly, it takes everyone to tango at the same time. It's a bit like a five-way marriage. It's very, very tricky. Lucky to get two of you to agree. Never mind anything else.
We get it.
Yeah,
for
no,
sure.
absolutely. Yeah, totally.
Now, you didn't start playing the guitar at all until, is it 12 years old? And were your influences classical, like opera, Bach, and so forth?
Well, funnily enough, those things came a little bit later. I mean, I was aware of Tchaikovsky, and I loved that. But really, I was listening to electric guitar stuff. The first record I bought I was 9 years old, and we had a band called The Shadows, who were the backing band for Cliff Richard, and they were having hits in their own right. The Shadows. They were a little bit like the Ventures. I guess you might call it. Was it be surf music? I don't know. But it's from the days when guitars used to twang a lot, and they sounded a bit like the Bonanza theme. That was really I guess a sort of country style in a way. So that was my early influences, and then guitars learned to scream and cry and do wonderful things in the hands of many, including Jimi Hendrix, of course.
You've spent so many years touring, and as we mentioned a moment ago, you'll be coming to St. Louis, the Factory, April 2nd. Tickets are available at thefactorystl.com, by the way. Of all the decades that you have been going at it and have been going on tour, different bands, a solo act, which you have a band if you're a solo performer still, what did you enjoy the most of all of those years of touring?
Oh my God! I think there is nothing like the feeling of leaving a crowd really, really happy. When it happens, when they're really, really happy and they're on their feet, because everyone goes on stage thinking, "Will it? Won't it?" You go on stage for a lifetime of things that might go wrong. And most of the time they don't, and everything goes right. But, occasionally the stage might catch fire. There might be a flood. There could be anything. And you just, at the end of it, you take this huge risk by going out, delivering something live. Much like seeing Cirque du Soleil that I saw yesterday at the Royal Albert Hall. I'm going to play later in the year myself. But, and you see death-defying stuff going on. But it's all live at any moment. What could happen? The lights could go out. The drummer could fall over. A woman could have a baby in the front row. I mean, anything could happen, and all these things happen and more in the course of the colourful life in rock and roll. It's just the way it is. But to leave them standing, leave them happy, that is everything. And I'm always completely exhausted, but fired up at the end of it. And I just love doing it.
You mentioned Royal Albert Hall. Just real quick, is that place as cool in person as it looks?
Well, I think it's a favorite venue. I mean, it's the favorite London venue. I've played larger places, I've played smaller places, but to do that again, I'm really looking forward to it. I mean, it's worth going to the Royal Albert Hall to even see a dog show or wrestling. They've hosted all sorts of things, but it's known, of course, for classical stuff, but rock bands play it rather a lot. Eric Clapton plays there. Marillion, my pals, are playing there. It's a wonderful venue. It's theatre in the round. It's extraordinary.
Well, Steve, it's been a pleasure to talk to you, and we're looking forward to having you in St. Louis April 2nd at the Factory. thefactorystl.com if you want to get tickets. His new album is The Circus and the Night Whale. It will be available February 16th, so a little bit less than a month away from now. And as he said, a great Valentine's Day gift. So
Yeah.
get it for somebody. Steve, it was awesome to talk
Thank
to
you.
you. Thank you very
Brilliant.
much for joining
Thank you,
us.
Chris and Amy. Thank you. Nice talking to you both.
Thank
All the
you
best.
so much. Thank you.
That is guitarist Steve Hackett with us. Matt
So
Pajeski
fun.
must be absolutely thrilled.
I love
'Cause-
Matt Pajeski knows music, is a huge music fan.
He texted earlier today and he said, "Is Steve coming in or are you doing it on the phone?" And I said, "I think it's a phone interview." And he goes, "Ah, man."
I know.
He was going to come in early.
Oh, absolutely.
That
That's how I
happened-
am with Bob Costas.
That happened my old job 10 years ago, 15 years ago. U2 was on tour and
No.
the whole band came into the studio.
No.
It was unbelievable. It was they went to XRT, which is an alternative rock station, been around 50 years. They went to see those guys because that station helped them break into the country, back in the early 80s. So they were very grateful for that station. They were all coming in. We got rumors that they were coming in. And so I went to work like 8 hours early because I just wanted to be there. And I'm not kidding you. They walked in with these giant Irish bodyguards and you couldn't get close to them. It was like if somebody came into KMOX, it was, it's not like there were 1,000 people swarming them. It was like a dozen.
Yeah.
Maybe 24, and they blocked us all, so we couldn't get close. Bono touched my hand, though, so that was cool.
And you haven't watched it since.
Still, it's been since like 2009.
That's gross.
My hand is stinky. It's Chris and Amy on KMOX.
For everything online, it's Odyssey.com. Download the Odyssey app and listen to The Dave Glover Show and all the news, talk, sports, and podcasts that move you. Odyssey, that's AUDACY.
I'm John Morgan. When people stop me to ask, what's my case worth? Here's what I tell them. All law firms are not the same at all. You see, the most important part of anyone's injury case is the firm you hire. The insurance company knows exactly which firms fight for full value and which firms will settle your case for pennies on the dollar. Our firm has recovered billions and billions and billions. $3 billion last year alone. There's only one Morgan & Morgan. Injured? Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Hey guys, Glover here for universalwindowsdirect.com. So if like me, you get frustrated hearing ads that really don't tell you anything, how the product is better or even different. So Universal Windows Direct is better and different in this way. Our product was developed by NASA. It's a technology called Super Spacer. It keeps the edges of the glass warmer. It performs better. It lasts longer. You get a lifetime warranty, a true lifetime warranty. If you sell your house, the person you sell it to gets a 30-year warranty. That's Universal Windows Direct, different and better.
According to the U.S. debt clock, in the time you hear this commercial, our nation's debt will go up by $1.5 million. That's more than $2 billion a day. Right now, our debt is over $31 trillion and climbing fast. The question is, how do we pay it off? The answer is increasing taxes. Now, think about your retirement accounts. Do you want to pay taxes on some of that money now when rates are historically low, or later when rates are potentially higher? Whether you should pay taxes now or in retirement depends on a lot of things. Heisey Advisory Group knows what to look for and can help you create a customized plan so your retirement is as tax efficient as possible. Schedule your visit with Heisey Advisory Group now. 314-328-4400. That's 314-328-4400.
Investment advisory products and services made available through Pine Ridge Advisors, LLC, and SEC-registered investment advisors. Security products and services made available through AE Financial Services, LLC, member FINRA and SIPC. AEFS and Pine Ridge Advisors, LLC are not affiliated. Always consult an attorney or tax professional regarding your specific legal or tax situation.
Listen, it's no secret that most real estate agents make big promises and oftentimes end up selling their client's home for less than what the client may have been led to believe. This is not the case for Gloria Liu with Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty, St. Louis's real estate expert. This is Debbie Monterey, and I will tell you that Gloria Liu does not make promises she can't keep. She makes guarantees in writing. And here's the truth. Right now, agents know that some customers will choose the agent that tells them the highest price they'll get for their home. That is a stressful way to go about it. Gloria makes it really simple by providing an upfront written guaranteed price. And if your home sells for less than the guaranteed price, she will pay you the difference. Gloria takes all the risk off the table for the home seller who is trying to get the most amount of money for their home. To get your guaranteed price, call Gloria Liu, 314-325-6888, 314-325-6888, or GloriaHasTheBuyers.com. Conditions apply. Gloria and seller must agree on price and possession date. They are putting the finishing touches on the brand new Genesis of St. Charles brick and mortar building, the first standalone Genesis showroom in the state of Missouri. But don't wait to experience Genesis. Right now, Genesis of St. Charles is offering rates as low as 4.49% on select 2024 Genesis models and a $1,000 incentive if you already own a Highline vehicle. The excitement is building at Genesis of St. Charles, where they make amazing happen. Get more information at genesisofstcharles.com.
Paid for by government.com. Did you know the United States Mint has issued a new Morgan silver dollar coin in proof condition for the first time? Not only that, they are also minted in 99.9% pure silver for the first time ever in history. Coin experts are calling this an amazing opportunity for anyone that knows the enduring popularity of Morgans. But you must hurry. Only 400,000 of these legal tender silver dollars were issued. These first ever Morgan silver dollars are brand new with stunning mirror-like finish, minted by the iconic San Francisco Mint. Call now and you're guaranteed a new first ever 99.9% pure silver proof Morgan dollar. To learn more, call 1-800-888-7630. If you order now, you will receive a free coin collector bonus pack, a $25 value, free with every order. Call 1-888-7630 now to secure your new Morgan silver dollars before they are gone. That's 1-800-888-7630.
The voice of St. Louis. News that matters to you. KMOX.
Chris and Amy on KMOX. A really great conversation with Steve Hackett, who is a guitarist coming to town April 2nd to the Factory.
I did not know that the Genesis album Selling England by the Pound was one of John Lennon's favorite albums of all time.
I didn't know that either.
That's awesome.
It's as I said to him, a great compliment. What a compliment to get from John Lennon. So we will have that. I think it was probably not yet available, but it should be available soon on the Odyssey app. If you missed the interview after the show, go back and catch it so you can listen to it, KMOX.com as well. Also, as we speak, the Department of Justice is holding a press conference. They have been investigating the Uvalde response from the police officers in Texas at the time of that massacre, and they are revealing the results of that investigation. And so we're going to have some sound from that coming up in the show before we are done today at 1:00. But the press conference is still ongoing. And I think we're probably going to just have reiterated for us a lot of the things that we already knew, that the response time was absolutely lousy, that police did not do as much as they could have done or should have done. And I'm guessing that's what the findings will show us.
Just absolute nightmare and heartbreaking. And I think it's easy for us to move on with the news cycle, but those families, it's a nightmare that will stay with them forever.
What will it be? 2 years now, right? Coming up in a few months?
In spring, yeah.
Yeah. Wow. All right. Amy Marks Kors, Chris Ranji. When we come back, Matt Pauley, host of Sports Open Line, will join us next on KMOX.
Hey guys, this is Dave from the Dave Glover Show, 1 to 5 p.m. on KMOX. So you can't do a talk show without talking about politics now and then. I consider myself to be a down-the-middle, independent, free-thinking guy. I am capable of my mind being changed. Hopefully I'm capable of at least challenging you. With 5 people on the show, you're going to find someone who you align with. It's honest, it's real, it's challenging, and it's fun. That's 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. every day on KMOX.
Jewels on Hampton and St. Louis Hills is paying some of the highest prices on gold, silver, diamonds, semi-precious colored stones, coins, flatware, and fine watches on site. Jewels on Hampton is a premier jeweler featuring Alvanza's jewel art designs with an exquisite selection of diamonds, semi-precious stone jewelry, and vintage watches. Their expert design team can restyle your jewelry to today's contemporary style. They also do jewelry and watch repair. Need extra cash? Jewels on Hampton is paying some of the highest prices on gold, silver, diamonds, semi-precious colored stones, coins, flatware, and fine watches. Bring in your collectibles and clocks and sports memorabilia and figurines too. Jewels on Hampton, 4506 Hampton, just 3 blocks south of Chippewa, and jewelsonhampton.com. Call them at 314-752-5000, 314-752-5000, and jewelsonhampton.com. Jewels on Hampton.
Have you been wanting to find the secret to losing weight and getting healthy the natural way without drugs or injections? Hey everyone, it's Dr. Michael Glickert with St. Louis Weight Loss Secret, and I know the secret to losing a half a pound to a pound of fat every day naturally, safely, and effectively without counting points or calories. No prepackaged meals, no hormones, no drugs, no injections or surgery. Schedule a free consultation now at moweightloss.com.
Hey, this is Debbie Monterey, and I just would like to reiterate what Dr. Glickert said, that you can lose a half a pound to a pound per day with St. Louis Weight Loss Secret. And I can say that with confidence because that's what happened for me. Getting on the scale every morning, losing a half a pound to a pound was extremely motivating to stay on my plan. I lost 20 pounds in the first month. I've lost over 40 pounds altogether using St. Louis Weight Loss Secret. It really is not that hard when you follow their plan. Find out more by going to moweightloss.com. moweightloss.com.
At 11:30, we have sunny skies, 34 degrees downtown at the Arch. I'm Megan Lynch.
I want to thank the Department of Justice, first off, for putting down what we've already known in black and white. That is a resounding thing that I've heard from several families that I've talked to today.
That's Texas State Senator Roland Gutierrez responding to a Department of Justice report on the deadly school shooting in Uvalde. Justice officials say local law enforcement demonstrated no urgency. President Joe Biden says U.S. strikes against Houthis will continue. Biden acknowledged Thursday that bombing in Yemen hasn't stopped those shipping attacks. British health officials applauding King Charles' decision to go public about a common condition too many men are too embarrassed to talk about. Here's CBS's Vicky Barker in London.
Since King Charles revealed he's being treated for an enlarged prostate, the National Health Service says searches for the condition on its website have leapt from 1,400 to 16,000 a day, which is exactly why Charles went public, says royal biographer Robert Hartman.
He wants it out there, the specifics about this operation, because he believes this is something other people ought to get checked up.
Though the king's condition is benign, the same difficulties with urination can also be a sign of cancer. Vicky Barker, CBS News, London.
Checking the roads this hour, we do have a 3-car crash reported westbound on Highway 70. It's just before you get to 5th Street. The 2 right lanes are closed, and there's a backup approaching that location. Looks like we'll have variably cloudy skies today, though right now we've got some sunshine. Expect a high near 40 degrees. Cloudy tonight, may see some snow up to an inch, and that could lead to some slippery roads. Increasingly windy late tonight. Expect an overnight low near 10. Right now, sunny skies, 34 degrees downtown at the Arch. I'm Megan Lynch, KMOX News.
Broadcasting from the Underlying Tree Lawyers, GetJim.com studios.
KMOX.
This is Christina Straight with Straight Realty reminding you why pay more than 4. In 2003, we had a dream to start a real estate company that would revolutionize the real estate market. Now, 20 years later, after navigating through the many markets' ups and downs, we know exactly how to help you in this challenging time. I'm Christina Straight, owner of Straight Realty. Don't give away your hard-earned equity. Give us a call today, 314-441-4444, 314-441-all-4s. And remember, why pay more than 4?
Straight Realty is a licensed broker in the state of Missouri.
If you're hiring, it can feel like you're trying to find a needle in a haystack. You can hope the right person comes along, or you can just use ZipRecruiter. And now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. In fact, ZipRecruiter has helped a lot of business owners find their needle in a haystack, like Marco, president of operations at Telly Tires and Auto Centers. Because Telly Tires has grown a lot in the last few years, Marco needed to hire everyone from a receptionist to a store manager to a head mechanic.
ZipRecruiter helps me find all the right people, even the most difficult jobs to fill. ZipRecruiter helps me keep my business running.
Take it from Marco and millions of other businesses who've used ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter can help you find the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/RADIO. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire.
Dive into all things Cardinals on Cardinals Conversations, your go-to location for exclusive content from KMOX. Catch it on the Odyssey app or your favorite podcast platform. Stay connected with your team. Cardinals Conversations, where the Redbird talk never stops.
This Cardinals report is brought to you by Renner Garage Door, RENNER, forward and back, family owned and top rated. Renner Door, STL.com. It is time to bring in our sports fella. Matt Pauley joins us on the Quiver River Electric guest line. You all right? Matt?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I heard a noise.
Did my mic get turned on or my pod get go up as I was clearing my throat?
No. There was like it sounded like a cough or a choke or something.
Yeah, that was me. I guess a cough, clearing the throat, all the same thing.
Okay, just making sure you're okay.
I mistimed my cough. I'm sorry.
You really did.
Yeah, it was poorly timed.
Poor Matt Pauley. Do you think that we give you too much? Oh, Amy, you got to hear this. Matt was on the Cardinals Caravan over the weekend.
Oh, geez.
We had the winter warm up in
Yeah,
the Cardinals Caravan. He went to, where'd you go? Evansville?
No, I went to Mattoon, Illinois, Springfield, Illinois, Carlisle, Illinois,
There you go.
Decatur, Illinois.
Okay. And somebody came up to him and said that he feels sorry for him because we are very mean to Matt.
That's not true.
Yep.
Is that
That's
true?
that's what he said.
No, the story is true. Whether or not you guys are mean to me or not, that could be argued. But the fact that happened is a 100% truth.
Yeah, we're definitely not mean to you.
I'm just glad we had some listeners at the Cardinals Caravan.
Yeah, all over the place.
That's awesome.
The state of Illinois loves us.
They love us. I think it's because Ron just from Granite City.
Hell yeah, bro. All right.
I remember when I was in high school, I was playing freshman football, and I went to Ladue, and we were playing freshman football against Granite City at Granite City, and we convinced one of the players on the team that Granite City was so far away that we were going to have to take a plane to get there.
Oh, my God. Hey, I will tell you this. When I was in
That's
college,
awesome.
there was a guy on our team at Illinois State, really, really good basketball player, not the brightest kid. And I had friends who were on the team, and they relayed this story, and all of them confirmed it, that they were getting ready. You know how early season, always in like November, there are these tournaments that take place in Hawaii. There's the Maui Invitational. There's something in Honolulu where they were going to, I think, the Honolulu tournament. And they're having a meeting, like, hey, next week we're going to the tournament. Here's what you need to pack because we're going to be gone. And this dude asked the question honestly, are we taking the bus to Hawaii?
Well,
that's amazing.
They were not taking the bus to Hawaii.
Yeah.
No. Anyway. Hey, so we got the news earlier this morning that Adam Wainwright is going to be an analyst for Fox Sports coming up the baseball season. And apparently we'll be doing a lot of games, Matt.
Yeah, that's great news. I think we all knew that it was going in that direction. The only question was how many games would he end up doing at the end of the season last year? He expressed the desire to return to Fox in some capacity. He also expressed the desire to maybe do some Cardinal games for Bally, and I don't know if that's going to happen or not, but certainly him doing he was so good last year. The one thing he did last year, he did the thing where he explained the difference between a sweeper and a slider, and the video went absolutely viral. And I think moments like that and people like him are really important because, sweeper is kind of a new pitch. It's not something that's been around that long. And there's a lot of old school baseball folks who just think it's this newfangled thing and it's not real. And we're just putting, all it is a slider and we're just putting new names on things just to make us sound smart. And then he's able to go on and give a clear explanation of the difference between a sweeper and a slider and really defined what a sweeper was. And I think that's important for baseball because what that does is it allows kind of people who won't accept some of these new things to realize, okay, there is a difference and it's important and this has a place in our game.
Well, and speaking of broadcast, I know that, Chris, you and John Hancock were talking about this earlier with Diamond Sports, buying, or with, I should say, Amazon,
yep.
buying Diamond Sports, which runs Bally Sports, on which you can watch the Cardinals and the Blues. With that being said, I know things are fine for the Cardinals for this upcoming season, but are the Cardinals thinking about having their own stream or their own service so that they would be separate from Bally Sports? I know some teams have floated that idea.
Yeah, so there's a lot of things up in the air right now. The DeWitts talked about this at winter warm-up on Saturday or Sunday. I think it was or Sunday or Monday. And basically everything that they've said maybe isn't so true anymore, not because they weren't telling the truth, but because of this Amazon thing coming in. Now, the really important thing to remember is this has not yet been approved. And Amazon is coming in here they're more worried about the streaming rights to these games than they are about being able to be involved in the over-the-air. They're investing in Bally as a route to get to being able to stream games. Bally only controls the streaming rights to 4 major league teams, and the Cardinals are not one of them. Amazon had offered them something like a week ago, and Major League Baseball immediately turned it down because the first offer from Amazon included streaming rights for all the teams that Bally was associated with, and the respective team said, hold on, wait, no way. So Amazon doesn't do this unless they think that they can get the streaming rights. Those are very, very valuable to the respective teams. So Major League Baseball is going to take a long look at this deal, and they're going to let Amazon know whether or not there's much of a chance that they're going to be able to acquire these various streaming rights. If that deal doesn't go through, then yeah, there absolutely is an opportunity for the Cardinals after this upcoming season. This upcoming season, 2024, everything is going to be just as it has always been. But when you look at 2025, the Cardinals could create their own streaming service. They could create their own regional sports network and go in with the Blues and basically take the spot of Bally where they're producing everything on their own. They could start producing games and working out carriage agreements with different channels across across the region. So I'm probably getting into the weeds a little bit right now when I talk about this, but basically the bottom line is it's a big deal what was just reported with Amazon, but nothing has been solidified quite yet.
Actually, the bottom line is all the games are accessible on KMOX and the Odyssey app, and they're totally free, and you don't have to worry about any of this nonsense. But I do think that at least for 2024, everything remains as is, right?
Yeah.
And it's really about what happens after.
Exactly. And the bummer for 2024 is still that the people that have YouTube TV and some of the Hulu Live TV, there's no indication that there's going to be an agreement with Bally. So there's a lot of people that have been pushed out from Cardinals baseball because of who they're getting their TV from. I think that's going to change in 2025. Even if this Amazon thing does happen, I think there's pressure from Major League Baseball and from the teams to make sure that as many eyeballs can be on the product as possible, that's going to happen. But as you allude to, Ranj, we're not so worried about the eyeballs here at KMOX. We're worried about the eardrums.
The earballs.
You need earballs.
Well, okay. Looking at this with the streaming and everything that's going on with Diamond Sports and Amazon, and then taking into consideration what seemed to be the one-off on Peacock with the Chiefs playoff game, do you see that as a one-off where it's basically a billboard for Peacock? It's not going to have any more NFL games. It's just doing it to get new subscribers. Or do you see the NFL splintering broadcasts into those streaming services permanently?
Yeah, they already have. Thursday Night Football's on Amazon every week, so that's streaming only. There's going to be more and more streaming. I know a lot of people don't like to hear it. What I always remind people is there was a point where games were on over-the-air TV and not a lot of people had cable, and then all of a sudden games went to cable and people had to make a change. People had to subscribe to cable. People had to get cable boxes. We're at that next big juncture in sports television where, yes, there's going to be games on streaming. Does it stink that there's going to be a Friday night game on Apple and a Sunday morning game on Peacock and a Sunday night game on ESPN and a Saturday afternoon game on Fox and all the midweek games on Bally, except for maybe a random midweek game that's on YouTube? I get that from a fan perspective and being able to go all those places, it's not great. But you know who we never hear complaining? We never hear college basketball fans complaining. One day your game's on ESPN Plus. The next day your game's on ESPN2. There is one, afternoon you're on CBS. There's never any consistency in other sports, college football, college basketball, and where these games are ending up. There's a lot of Big Ten basketball games this year that are on Peacock, and honestly, I haven't heard boo from anybody complaining about that. So I don't know what it is about baseball. I don't know if it's the everyday nature of it. Obviously, an NFL playoff game is something a little bit different because of the amount of interest. But this is just where we're at. These streaming services are the next generation of how we're going to watch sports, and more games are going to end up on them.
I would say the difference with college is that depending on what university you go to, all of your games aren't always on TV in the past. Now you can find them in different places. So people are just thankful that they're on somewhere, I would say. What is one last thing before we let you go? A texter wants to know how your tight lungs are.
Oh,
you know what? I'm doing pretty good. I lost my voice for a second time a couple weeks ago. I had to take a couple of days off.
That's right.
But I'm feeling good right now. I think my voice sounds good. So you guys tell me, do I sound all right?
Yeah, you sound fine.
Your lungs sound loose.
Yeah, you sound very, very loose.
Very loose lungs.
You know, I got an inhaler from one doctor. I actually have another doctor. I have an ENT appointment in a couple of weeks. Just
ear, nose, and throat.
Take a look around to make sure everything's okay. But I think I'm doing good.
Matt Pauley, good to talk to you. Sports Open line tonight.
No,
what?
Not Sports Open line.
Countdown to opening day tonight, 6 o'clock.
Can I plug what's going on?
No. Yes, go ahead.
I am sitting right now at One Cardinal Way, and in about 10, 15 minutes, John Mozeliak is going to come over here, and I'm going to have probably 30, 35 minutes or so with the Cardinals president of baseball operations, and it's going to be extended conversation, getting into a lot of things, and that's going to be a big part of tonight's Countdown to Opening Day show.
You know, that was a better plug than a 737 MAX 9.
Oh, God, Amy.
You were just waiting to get that in.
I was so excited.
Matt doesn't follow the news. He doesn't even know what that means.
He's got to follow sports. There are too many sports to follow.
That's right.
Baseball is a lot.
It's the plane where the door falls off, right?
Wow.
Look
Good
at
job,
that.
Matt.
And on the way to Denver, I flew in the exit row and watched.
I'm glad you're still with us, Amy.
I know. I could have been
on being alive.
Thank you. I could have been sucked out the airplane.
Could have been.
Wouldn't that have been awful?
See?
Hey, Matt, thank you.
Thank you.
Matt Pauley, Countdown to Opening Day tonight, 6 to 8 o'clock right here on KMOX.
Okay, I'm so excited about this. We had a dilemma. Mason Jar had a dilemma. We're going to talk about it.
On your trip that you went to Hidden Valley?
Yep.
All right. Amy Marks, Coors, Chris Ranji on KMOX.
Jackson Hewitt has a plan to get your tax refund fast with a buck here, buck there, here a buck, there a buck, everywhere buck.
You don't have to wait weeks for your tax refund. Get money sooner with a no-fee refund advance loan at Jackson Hewitt.
On this loan, there's a money today guarantee. E-I-E-I-DO.
Don't settle for chicken feed. Get fast bucks at Jackson Hewitt today. No-fee refund advance loans by Republic Bank offered to eligible clients. Money today guarantee if approved for a loan on a prepaid card. Details at jacksonhewitt.com.
Do you find yourself stuck in a timeshare? Get the real facts about the timeshare industry and your options for cancellation. Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, has put together a free information guide that reveals the secrets the timeshare industry doesn't want you to know, including the 5 ways to get rid of your timeshare. Call now and get this timeshare cancellation guide absolutely free.
Call 800-838-6161. That's 800-838-6161. 800-838-6161.
Don't miss out on limited time appliance deals during the closeout event at Lowe's. For a limited time, get up to 35% off select major appliances. Plus, get an additional 20% off in-store clearance appliances. Hurry, these deals are too good to last long. Shop in-store or online today because Lowe's knows deals. Lowe's knows home improvement. Valid 12/28/23 through 1/3/24. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. See Lowe's.com for details.
At Grainger, we're for the ones who specialize in saving the day and for the ones who've mastered the art of keeping business moving. We offer industrial-grade supplies for every industry with same-day pickup and next-day delivery on most orders, all backed by real people ready to help. So you can get the right answers and products right when you need them. Call quickgrainger.com or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Join KMOX for an exclusive evening at Tapawingo Golf Club with St. Louis Cardinals manager Oliver Marmol and Oliver Marmol Unplugged. For just $75, enjoy a delightful beef tenderloin dinner, 2 complimentary drinks, and insightful discussions hosted by Tom Ackerman. Gain unique insights into being the Cardinals manager and what he expects for the 2024 season. Secure your tickets now at KMOX.com/events. Oliver Marmol Unplugged. Don't miss this special evening at Tapawingo Golf Club, January 18th.
Audi Kirkwood is under construction, and our savings are through the roof. During our construction sales event, shop over 500 new Audis and get up to 10% off MSRP, complimentary home delivery, plus 4.99% financing on most remaining new 2023 Audi vehicles, including models like the Q8, Q5, e-tron, and more. Sales and service departments are open during normal business hours. Shop AudiKirkwood.com or visit us on Manchester Road in Kirkwood.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through the site within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. Just go to this exclusive web address, ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Our goal at NeoVitan is to make supporting your nutrition as easy as possible. That's why we created the NeoVitan monthly subscription. Just go to NeoVitan.com, choose your multivitamin, sign up, and we will do the rest. You'll receive your NeoVitan multivitamin every month with no long-term obligation. You can pause or cancel at any time, and shipping is free. Each NeoVitan multivitamin includes our physician-formulated proprietary blend for nutritional support you won't find anywhere else. Start supporting your nutrition the easy way with NeoVitan multivitamins. Sign up for a NeoVitan subscription today at NeoVitan.com.
Hard work and dreams lead to success, but easily filing your taxes with TurboTax and Credit Karma doesn't hurt either. Make filing taxes a walk in the park, because we'll pre-fill your info for you so you can file quickly and confidently. Winner! Get the peace of mind that comes with expert help. Let's go! Being powered by TurboTax means you're backed by the leading tax preparer, and we'll show you all your filing options up front so there are no surprises. File your taxes on Intuit Credit Karma today. Expert help not available with all products. Guarantee details available at TurboTax.com/guarantee.
It's Tom Ackerman for Ophthalmology Associates, the doctor's doctors, 314-966-5000 or online at youridoc.com.
If you need a new garage door, this could be your lucky day. Entries are now open for the $5,000 sweepstakes at Overhead Door Company of St. Louis. A winner will be chosen at random to receive $5,000 towards new garage doors, openers, or front entry doors of their choice. Deadline to enter is the end of the month to win the $5,000 sweepstakes with Overhead Door Company of St. Louis. Enter now at overheaddoorstlouis.com. You can't win if you don't enter at overheaddoorstlouis.com.
We're back! Chris Ranji, Amy Marks Kors on KMOX.
Ronch, I don't know if you heard about the weather in Colorado because you guys were
we had our
having
own
weather
weather
here. Yeah. So
I
we
didn't
had,
care about what was happening with you.
No, we had blizzards. They closed the ski lifts on several days. On Saturday, actually, in Keystone, it was just shut down. The mountain was shut down because they had high winds, severe cold. I think one day it was like -10 when we woke up, and the wind chills were like upwards of -30. And first of all, I'm just amazed that skiing is legal. Like, you're sitting on a little bench with a flimsy bar over your waist, going on a 30-minute ride up a mountain in high winds and blizzard conditions. At one point, there was a whiteout. So both at multiple points, there were whiteouts. On the lifts had to come to a stop while you just kind of start swinging in the wind. You can't even see the chair in front of you. Very disorienting.
Did that thing happen like that one malfunctioned the lift that was throwing people off of it? Did that happen?
Thankfully, no. But they did shut down the gondolas because the gondolas were swinging. And then on the way down, all of a sudden, the winds picked up. Now, in Rocky Mountain National Park and other places, the winds were upwards of 70 miles an hour. Not where we were, but maybe 40, 50 miles an hour, because at times it would almost blow you over. The snow was whipping around. You couldn't even see. Because of all that, the driving became treacherous on Highway 70. And they actually just shut down the highway while they did avalanche mitigation, where they blow up the snow, clear the snow so that cars don't get buried, because cars did get buried. Well, while we were stopped on our way from Keystone to Denver, which should take about 2 hours, it took about 4 hours to get from Keystone to Denver. And at one point we were stopped for about 75 to 80 minutes, just completely stopped. Then we started crawling, right? Crawling through the Eisenhower Tunnel towards Denver. Now at this point, it's been maybe 4 or 5 hours since we've used a bathroom. Mason jar had to pee.
Okay.
But we're stuck in the car. We're stuck in 70, and you're in the mountains. There's nowhere to go. There's nothing you can do. You're crawling along. You can't, we're going to miss our flight, so we can't stop. We're going to miss our flight if we stop at all. So there was one of the kids had a Gatorade, and that bottle could potentially come in handy. So one of the kids finished the Gatorade so that the bottle was empty. And then that is the option that Mason Jar had, was the Gatorade bottle. Would you have tried to hold it, or would you have used a Gatorade bottle?
Well, first of all, you're telling this story as if this is the first time you've ever heard of this maneuver.
To be completely honest, I've never been in the car. I thought it was an urban myth, a legend.
No, it is not. There are a lot of people who refuse to stop on trips.
Yeah.
And so they will go in a Gatorade bottle. I can't believe this is really... You didn't think this was a real thing? Now, I'm not one of those people. I will stop.
Have you ever done it?
No. Oh, you know what? If I have, it's been a long time and I don't remember.
Yeah.
But I always stop. It's fine. Stop. Go to the Wally's.
You're going to miss the airplane. They're going to miss
You're going to miss the airplane.
You're going to miss the
This
flight.
is... I can't believe... Sometimes you are so innocent. Wow. He peed in a Gatorade bottle. Can you believe it? Yes, I can. I knew people.
Do people
Amy,
do it while driving? Is that legal?
Yes, they do. 314-436-7900.
Have you peed in a
Text us.
Gatorade bottle while driving?
Listen, I know people.
Yeah.
When we were in the dorms,
Yeah.
back living in the dorms in college, and the bathroom is down the hallway, and they didn't want to have to get up to go. They would,
No.
oh yeah.
No.
Oh yeah. I knew at least 2 people on my floor who did it. Yep, and they would leave it, and it's gross. They would leave the bottle under the bed, and they would let it. They would just
disgusting.
use it. And
Did they put the lid back on?
Well, yeah, but then they would. I remember one was like one of those old glass Gatorade bottles.
Yeah,
kind of like that.
Glass?
Yeah, they used to be made of glass.
I didn't know that.
So, I remember that, and he would empty it out periodically.
That's disgusting.
He would put it under the bed because everybody had their beds on cinder blocks for some reason, because you could store things under, I guess. That's why.
So
he would hide it behind some stuff.
So you have or you have not been in a car when someone used a Gatorade bottle?
You
haven't.
I don't know if somebody
See?
else has done it.
See? And you were blaming me for never
you know what?
having
No.
been in this situation.
I think I may have been when somebody in the back seat did it. Texter here says it is a staple move in an 18-wheeler.
Really?
Yeah.
So the
I would
drivers?
think, I totally see that, because pulling off the road with a big tractor trailer is process, you know? You don't want to stop for that. You go in the Gatorade bottle. Amy and Chris on KMOX.
Cards issued by Sutton Bank and Celtic Bank, members of FDIC. Terms and conditions apply. Are you the decision maker in your company? Consider this. For the first time in decades, there's a better option for a corporate card and spend management platform. Meet Ramp, the only corporate card and spend management system designed to help you spend less money so you can make more. Most corporate credit cards offer points as incentives, but those points amount to less than their worth in real cash value. Ramp's corporate cards offer you cash back, real money in your pocket. Plus, you control who spends what with each vendor. And Ramp's software collects and verifies receipts automatically, which means you'll stop wasteful spending and close your books in hours instead of days. Businesses that use Ramp add up to 5% to their bottom line the first year. If you're a decision maker, adding Ramp could be one of the best decisions you've ever made. And now get $250 when you join Ramp. Just go to ramp.com/free. Ramp.com/free. RAMP.com/free.
If you want jazz music, go to New Orleans. Bagels, New York. And for psychics, think California Psychics. You want the best, you go to the best. At California Psychics, home of free spirits and open minds, we know better than anyone what makes a good psychic. That's why we guarantee if your reading isn't life-changing, it's free. Visit CaliforniaPsychics.com and experience the joy of certainty. California Psychics.
Join us at Odyssey as we all do our one thing. Together millions of things for our planet. This new year, make some resolutions that will improve the environment. Resolve to recycle more. Recycle paper, bottles, and cans. Reuse paper and plastic bags and get a reusable bag for groceries. Recycle old clothes by donating them to charity. And recycle old electronics like TVs, computers, and cell phones at appropriate e-waste facilities. When we each share our one thing, it becomes 100 things, 1,000 things, 1,000,000 things for our planet. What's your one thing?
KMOX, KECK HD2, K254CR, St. Louis.
The voice of the Billikens, KMOX. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
There's something magical about unboxing. When you unbox BritBox, you uncover a world of British entertainment. Stream the UK's most brilliant series, including new and upcoming seasons of Shetland, Father Brown, and Death in Paradise. Plus new originals like Payback, Irving Welsh's Crime, and Archie, the story of Hollywood's greatest leading man, Cary Grant. Unbox BritBox and escape to the best of British TV. Stream with a free trial at BritBox.com.
Hey everyone, gather round. It's time for corny jokes about passing the torch.
The team at Kirian's Welding was fused together solid.
Thanks for all the late nights and early shifts.
But double retirements mean the crew must bond with some certified new hires.
You've both gone the extra millimeter.
Indeed can help them hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Our hiring platform instantly connects you with quality candidates, and you can schedule and conduct virtual interviews right from the Indeed dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Mid-America's most trusted source for news. KMOX.
At 12 o'clock, we have sunny skies, 37 degrees downtown at the Arch. The news sponsored by Michael's Flooring Outlet, the flooring experts, michaelsflooringoutlet.com. I'm Megan Lynch. The Justice Department says police officials who responded to the deadly 2022 school shooting in Uvalde, Texas, demonstrated no urgency. The Federal Review points out local law enforcement failed to treat the killings as an active shooter situation. The report on the shooting at Robb Elementary School identifies a vast array of problems, from failed communication and leadership to inadequate technology and training, that federal officials say contributed to the crisis lasting far longer than it should have. A Missouri coalition launched its bid today to end the state's abortion ban.
But it won't be easy. Missourians for Constitutional Freedom needs 170,000 signatures by May 5th to put an amendment on this year's ballot. It would allow abortion up to fetal viability. Tori Schaefer's an attorney with the ACLU.
We are confident that we're going to be able to get the signatures we need to qualify on this tight timeline. We're also confident any future legal roadblocks by politicians are completely political and will continue to fail in court.
Based on abortion fights in other states, this effort will require millions of dollars in fundraising to succeed. Scott Jagow, KMOX News.
Mayors across the country, including Tashara Jones, calling for a ban on flavored tobacco products. The call came today from the U.S. Conference of Mayors in Washington. The group asking the White House to issue a final rule on menthol cigarettes, flavored e-cigarettes, and other products. The FDA says the products are more addictive, appealing to kids, and targeted to minority communities. A lifetime order of protection could be an option for victims and survivors of abuse after a new bill is proposed by Senator Mike Moon. Current restraining orders require survivors to file for protection and then renew the order if they want that to be continuous. Community engagement manager at the YWCA, Samantha Wayant, says retelling those stories of abuse over and over can be exhausting.
And that is talking in an open courtroom about what has happened to you, what worst days of your lives, and talking about details. So it's, again, if we can reduce down the amount of time someone has to say, this is one of the worst things that's happened to me, and not putting this shouldn't be put on our survivors.
A lifetime protection order would be in place unless the victim dies, the conviction is expunged, or the victim requests it to be terminated. It's 12:02. A $1 million Mega Millions winning ticket sold this week outside of Pontoon Beach. According to the Illinois Lottery, the $1 million winner was sold at the 508 Variety Shop in Mitchell. The shop's owner, Amber Ronk, says it's really huge news for their town of 1,000 people. She says 90% of their customers are locals, so she's feeling confident the winner is a regular. The shop will get $10,000 for selling the ticket. 2 other $1 million winners were sold in Michigan and South Carolina.
She said, here she wants chance, fancy, don't let me down. She said, here she wants.
Country music star Reba McEntire will grace next month's Super Bowl stage to sing the national anthem, while Post Malone will perform America the Beautiful. The performances will take place February 11th at Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas. From the KMOX business desk, Amazon investing millions in the owner of Bally Sports to help pull the Cardinals and Blues broadcast partner out of bankruptcy. Major League Baseball is reserving judgment until it sees the scorecard. However, Washington University sports economist Dr. Patrick Risch tells KMOX Amazon has a good track record.
You've got a broadcaster now in Amazon that has basically proven itself through what they're doing on the NFL side, where they have won awards in the broadcasting community for how well they've pulled off their Thursday night football games.
Risch says adding Amazon streaming could make viewing more attractive to younger fans. The Dow from Stifel this hour is down 88 points at 37,178. The S&P 500 is up 5 points at 4,744.
Clouds and some sunshine this afternoon, high 42, then turning cloudy tonight with a period of snow overnight that will accumulate a coating of an inch, resulting in slippery travel. Windy and sharply colder late tonight with a low near 10. This is AccuWeather meteorologist Joe Lundberg on the Voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
Currently sunny skies, 37 degrees downtown at the Arch. I'm Megan Lynch, KMOX News.
The Chris and Amy Show, sponsored by Summer at SLU. Find your kids' best summer yet at St. Louis University. Time to rewind. It's the Chris and Amy Rewind Recap.
On the show, as we always do on Thursdays, just after 10:30, a conversation with Chief Washington correspondent for CBS News, Major Garrett, talking about the possibility of a bipartisan tax deal.
That was sort of a surprise in the sense that election years tend not to produce big legislative outcomes. This was, and oftentimes when there are tax cuts for businesses that need to be extended, it's not really a vehicle for other things that are on the lower end of the economic scale to be added into it, but this one is. It's a nice bipartisan deal. It will not be on this week's agenda. It will probably be up for consideration. It may be altered as it moves to the House and Senate, but it does seem to have a bit of momentum for sure.
And there is still an effort to try and get some kind of Ukraine funding done, but that seems to be in peril, as I think we're not really surprised that's the case. A lot of Republican opposition to it, including House Speaker Mike Johnson, who said that the Senate deal would probably not work. Also, we visited with legendary guitarist Steve Hackett, who has a new album out called The Circus and the Night Whale.
It brings in Genesis, and really the circus is a euphemism for the music business. And of course, you know, there are certain similarities. Once you join a rock and roll band and you're living out of a suitcase for the next, a decade or so, that's how life took shape for me. But it also goes through early love and escapades and various things, and the sort of claustrophobic nature of certain situations. You know, a band can get very possessive of its members.
Hackett, by the way, will be performing live here in St. Louis April 2nd at The Factory. Tickets are on sale at thefactorystl.com. The interviews that you have missed so far, and then when the show is over, anything that you've missed throughout the day, it's all going to be available on the Odyssey app, AUDACY, and KMOX.com. So just over an hour ago began a press conference from the Department of Justice, Merrick Garland, who discussed the findings of an investigation into the response to the Uvalde shooting. And as has been a conversation for going on 2 years now, the police and the first responders, it was a mess. There was a lot of miscommunication. There were kids trapped in classrooms while the active shooting was still ongoing. And the people have been critical of the police, of those first responders who did not go into the classroom and try and stop the shooter. So the press conference basically, I think, reiterated some of what we already knew. Here's Merrick Garland.
Injured and scared students and teachers remain trapped with the subject in the classrooms, waiting to be rescued. Survivors later shared that they heard officers gathered outside the classrooms while they waited. The victims trapped in classroom 111 and 112 were waiting to be rescued at 11:44 a.m., approximately 10 minutes after officers first arrived, when the subject fired another shot inside the classrooms. They were still waiting at 11:56 a.m. when an officer on the scene told law enforcement leaders that his wife, a teacher, was inside room 111 and 112 and had been shot. They were still waiting as broadcasts went out on officer radios that a student trapped inside rooms 111 and had called 911 at 12:10 p.m. to say that that the student was in a room full of victims. That student stayed on the phone with 911 for 16 minutes. The victims were still waiting to be rescued when the subject fired 4 more shots inside the classrooms at 12:21 p.m., 49 minutes after officers arrived on the scene. And they were still waiting for another 27 minutes after that until finally officers entered the classroom and killed the subject. 19 children and 2 teachers were killed. And untold numbers of students, teachers, and law enforcement officers were injured. The law enforcement response to the mass shooting at Robb Elementary was a failure. That in active shooter incidents, time is not on the side of law enforcement. Every second counts. And the priority of law enforcement must be to immediately enter the room and stop the shooter with whatever weapons and tools officers have with them. That is the approach responding officers first employed when they arrived at Robb Elementary School. But within minutes of arriving inside the school, officials on scene transitioned from treating the scene as an active shooter situation to treating the shooter as a barricaded subject. This was the most significant failure. That failure meant that law enforcement officials prioritized a protracted evacuation of students and teachers in other classrooms instead of immediately rescuing the victims trapped with the active shooter. It meant that officials spent time trying to negotiate with the subject instead of entering the room and confronting him. It meant that officials asked for and waited for additional responders and equipment instead of following generally accepted active shooter practice and moving toward the shooter with the resources they had. It meant waiting for a set of keys to open the classroom door, which the report concludes was likely unlocked anyway. And it meant that the victims remained trapped with the shooter for more than an hour after the first officers arrived on scene. There were also other failures in leadership, command, and coordination.
So there's a lot more there, obviously. The press conference went on for quite a bit of time, and I still haven't had a chance to listen to it. Obviously, we've been doing the show, but this pretty much tells us, I think, what we knew, confirms it all.
Yeah, there were 2 phrases that were used that I think summed up the massive failure of the Uvalde Police Department, and that was that the Justice Department report finds in the Uvalde situation, quote, cascading failures and, quote, no urgency. That sums up all that we saw and how law enforcement on that day profoundly, deeply, and irreparably failed those kids, those families in that community the depth to which they failed them cannot be expressed in words.
The job is difficult, which is why a lot of people don't go into it. They don't choose to go into it because it is a difficult job. I will also say that they shouldn't have to worry about this in the first place. Because I'm sorry, there should not be armed citizens armed like they are in an infantry unit with tactical gear and powerful weapons like this guy had, who went into the classroom and committed this massacre. They shouldn't really have to deal with people like that, but that's the society we live in. However, they are doing the job. And that means that when you have volunteered to do that job and you're paid, it's not like you weren't forced into it. You have decided to go into law enforcement. You know that at some point something like this could happen, that you have to respond, especially when we're talking about children. And again, this is the society we have agreed to live in, that there is the possibility of an active school shooter, which was something I did not have to worry about when I was a kid. Never even thought about it because it had never happened. And now it's a reality. So a lot of things here are wrong. The fact that we have to live like this is wrong. And the fact that these people who were tasked with protecting children, protecting the community, failed to do their jobs. A bunch of failures across the board.
Yeah. And I think one thing that I'm just hit with is how offensive and gross it is to see the primacy of self-preservation when the lives of innocent, vulnerable children aren't just at risk, but are being mowed down. And self-preservation was the decision that officer after officer made in that situation. That is so offensive to human nature. That is so offensive to human decency. It's gross.
And
it's so ugly.
Amy, it's against the job description.
Yes.
Your job is to, sometimes you might have to put yourself in harm's way. That's the job. And these people failed. That's Amy Marxkors. I'm Chris Ranji. There are 2 Navy SEALs missing in the Gulf of Aden, and we are going to talk to a former Army Special Forces officer with us. He'll be next, and we'll get some insight from him. That is coming up on KMOX.
2 ways to listen to KMOX in your car. 98.7 in the city, 1120 a.m. further out. The voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
The cookie cutter approach works well if you're making cookies, but not so well when you're trying to plan for retirement. If you want a customized income strategy, call Steve All and his team at the All Financial Group today, 636-230-8824. Or go to yourmoneymattersstl.com.
Advisory services offered through Retirement Wealth Advisors, LLC. The All Financial Group and Retirement Wealth Advisors are not affiliated. The All Financial Group is a financial services firm that offers a broad array of products and services, including life insurance and annuities, licensed in Missouri and Illinois.
Hey guys, Glover here for UniversalWindowsDirect.com. So if, like me, you get frustrated hearing ads that really don't tell you anything, how the product is better or even different. So Universal Windows Direct is better and different in this way. Our product was developed by NASA. It's a technology called Super Spacer. It keeps the edges of the glass warmer. It performs better. It lasts longer. You get a lifetime warranty, a true lifetime warranty. If you sell your house, the person you sell it to gets a 30-year warranty. That's Universal Windows Direct, different and better.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertisements.
We are Andro Law, your St. Louis legal powerhouse. Auto accidents, work injuries, pharmaceutical litigations, we do it all.
Onder Law. Call 314 or 618-9000 to learn more.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-403-5569 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-403-5569. That's 800-403-5569. What do you have to lose? Call 800-403-5569. Again, 800-403-5569.
Do you need to sell your home, but you need time to find your next home or to build that new construction home you've been dreaming about? Gloria Liu with Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty, St. Louis's real estate expert, has a program for you. Gloria understands that those are two issues keeping would-be home sellers from moving into their dream home. Gloria Liu has developed her Sell and Stay program that allows you to sell, get your cash, and then stay in the home for up to 12 months. Gloria's Sell and Stay program takes the pressure off and gives you time to find your next home. Plus, now that you have the cash from your current home, it gives you leverage when negotiating your next home. It's a great solution to help get some of our listeners unstuck and moving. If this sounds like you, then call the one I trust, Gloria Liu, at 314-325-6888, 314-325-6888, or visit online at gloriahasthebuyers.com. That's gloriahasthebuyers.com. Conditions apply. Gloria and seller must agree on price and possession date.
Hi, I'm Henry Winkler. My eyes are very important to me. My eyes connect me with things I love. I loved my late father-in-law dearly. He always lit up a room, but his vision dimmed with age. He had age-related macular degeneration, or AMD. And since partnering with Apellis, I've learned there's an advanced form of the disease called geographic atrophy, or GA. His struggle with vision loss made me want to help others know about GA's warning signs. For some, straight lines seem wavy, like when looking at a door frame. For others, blurry or missing spots can make it hard to read or see loved ones' faces. Many have trouble seeing in low light, making driving at night difficult. GA gets worse over time and cannot be reversed. If you've been diagnosed with AMD and notice vision changes, don't wait. Talk to your eye doctor about GA today. Learn more at GAWon'tWait.com. That's GAWon'tWait.com.
Live and local, this is St. Louis's News Radio, KMOX.
It's the Chris and Amy Show on KMOX. We are in the final hour. Dave Glover comes up at 1 o'clock. And, of course, we hang out for that 1 o'clock hour with the Dave Glover Show. We hope you'll stick around for that. Glad you're listening on the Odyssey app or 98.7 FM, 1120 AM, streaming live on YouTube and Facebook. You can watch us if you want to do that. And as I mentioned before we went to break, there are two missing Navy SEALs going back to a mission that occurred a week ago. It was last Thursday, and the mission was to try and intercept some Iranian missile parts that were heading for Houthis, or heading toward the Houthis, that they could use in the attacks that they have been committing over the last several months. And to talk about that mission, or at least what goes into something like that, is a former Army Specials Forces member, Lino Miani, founder of Novicio Global and founder of the Combat Diver Foundation. And Lino is with us on the Quiver River Electric guest line. We appreciate your time today, Lino. How are you?
I'm doing well, Chris. Thank you.
Thank you for being here. And this, pretty much any mission the Navy SEALs go on or Special Forces go on are dangerous missions. And this one off the coast of Somalia seems like a particularly dangerous mission, and two Navy SEALs have gone missing.
That is true, yeah. But a lot of the missions that we get involved in are dangerous, particularly nighttime operations and over the sea. There's a lot of complications that can happen there.
Is this normal that if you're on this mission, obviously it's secretive. I know there is so much secrecy around the Navy SEALs and their missions, even afterwards. You know, they can only tell the public so much. But is it normal that in a mission like this, that it would be made public that two SEALs are missing?
Anytime we lose service members, even temporarily, that information is usually released by the military. There's very few exceptions to that I can even think of, if any. It is normal that news gets out. A lot of times, unfortunately, that's how the public even learns that these operations are taking place.
Lino, I know you're not privy to every detail of this particular mission, but here were these men who were trying to intercept a boat out in the open ocean. What are, I mean, there are clear, obvious dangers, I think, to us who are paying attention, but what are some things that maybe we're not thinking of? What goes into a mission like this?
Well, it's that's how much time you got. There's a lot that goes into, first of all, identifying the target. So obviously they identified this particular vessel as something of interest. For whatever reason, now it seems, CENTCOM has released, Central Command has released that they confiscated arms en route to the Houthis. So that was probably why they had this vessel in their sights to begin with. Then you've got to locate it, and you've got to have, capable forces in the right place at the right time. So, the sea is vast, and it's just finding that target and getting all the right pieces in the right place at the right time is a challenge. I mean, there's a lot of sources of information that will go into that, a lot of analysis that has to be done. And then once you've kind of identified all the facts about that operation that you could possibly identify, now you've got to make a plan and have a commander make a decision about it. And that decision will be based on the value of the target or what they think it might be, how much risk is involved, the capabilities of the forces that are available. So it's a complex operation, and frankly, this sort of operation in itself is kind of the last step in a bit of a journey, even just getting there. So those are the planning factors. Now you've got to account for the environment.
So the environment is open ocean, and the SEALs, the special forces, have to get there somehow. How close can other craft, whether it's a boat or an airship of some kind, how close can they get to the target when you're out in open ocean without being detected?
Well, I mean, that's a complex question also, because it kind of depends on, what tools the adversary has at his or her disposal. Is there radar? Are they going to hear you? What's the sea state like and the weather? Because that will affect, how easily you can be detected. Is it nighttime or day? So there's a lot of factors that would go into that as well. And those will shape how they approach their mission. Because sometimes if you don't have the ability to be stealthy, sometimes you can have the ability to be quick. So those factors get weighed when they make their plan.
And when it comes to these two SEALs, speaking of the state of the sea, it was a nighttime mission. The waters were very rough off the coast of Somalia, and the mission continued after one SEAL fell into the water, and then the second SEAL, who was following protocol, jumped in the water to rescue his teammate. So if you can just expand on that a little bit, part of the no SEAL left behind.
Yeah, that's going to be the decision of whether or not to continue the mission will be carefully calculated ahead of time. What we used to do in our planning with Special Forces, the Green Berets, and I assume it's similar with the SEALs, is that we would establish a mission decision criteria. So if we were to lose somebody or a certain piece of equipment, or there was some sort of delay or whatever the case may be, we would know exactly when we had to make a decision to stop. That threshold obviously was not reached during this mission, and the SEALs continued even though they had lost what sounds like two of their team members.
And in a mission like this, they're all dangerous, right? And there are degrees of danger. But when something like this happens, is it considered a failure or a mistake, or somebody screwed up, or is it just this is the kind of thing that can and often does happen in these missions?
Well, I mean, the risk of someone, getting injured or falling overboard or being killed on an operation is always going to be there, and that has to be planned for. Knowing how Special Operations Forces do their planning, we have to assume that this sort of eventuality, maybe not the specific, someone falling overboard, but the eventuality that someone could be, hurt or killed was definitely planned for. And the evidence of that is that they continued the mission. Undoubtedly, the search and rescue operations began immediately because there's a lot of urgency when something like that happens to locate the separated individuals, because the more time that passes, the likelihood that you're going to be able to recover them successfully just plummets.
Well, Lino, we appreciate the insight on what is a story that we're all following. Thank you for visiting with us today. And again, we do appreciate that information.
Yeah, we're really hoping for a good outcome for this.
Yeah.
I mean, we've seen a lot of time pass, and so it's looking pretty grim. But those guys are the best at what they do, and we're hoping for a good outcome.
Thank you, Lino.
Okay, thank you. Bye.
Lino Miani, founder of Novicio Global and the Combat Diver Foundation. He was a former Army Special Forces officer, said that he was a Green Beret. And yeah, a dangerous mission, and 2 Navy SEALs still missing. And this was a mission that occurred a week ago. So he did say it's grim, because you would think that by now you would know something if they were still alive. So
Awful.
hoping for a miracle for those guys. That's Amy Marks Kors. I'm Chris Ranji. We have a local museum that has been nominated for a special honor, and we will talk about that when we come back on KMOX.
We enjoyed up until today, very mild winter. In my personal opinion, it's been very nice, very mild. But winter seems like it is here now. I like to let everybody know, if your furnace is broken, call me. You are a preferred customer of mine. Everybody gets great pricing, excellent treatment, knowledgeable techs, and me. No extra charge to call us. You don't have to pay me in advance for me to get out there same day. Call me, Bart Inman, 314-293-2600. That's Bart Inman, 314-293-2600. 2 things to remember: phone number, and if you're tech savvy, which I'm not, it's Bart with a B, Inman with an I.com. Happy New Year.
At 12:30, we have sunny skies, 37 degrees downtown at the Arch. I'm Megan Lynch. A new report from the Department of Justice found critical failures in the response to the 2022 Uvalde school shooting that killed 19 children and 2 teachers. The review found shortcomings that led to a delay in confronting the gunman at Robb Elementary School. Attorney General Merrick Garland spoke in Uvalde and said the aftermath of the shooting was also chaotic.
Surviving victims, some with bullet wounds and other injuries, were put on buses without being brought to the attention of medics. Some families were told that their family members had survived when they had not. And victims, families, and community members struggled to receive timely and accurate information about what had occurred at Robb Elementary.
The gunman was killed roughly 77 minutes after police arrived on the scene. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says he has informed the United States that he opposes the establishment of a Palestinian state as part of any post-war scenario. The announcement on Thursday exposed deep divisions that have emerged between close allies 3 months into Israel's war against Gaza's Hamas rulers. Unemployment claims have fallen to their lowest level in 16 months. CBS News business reporter Jason Brooks has more.
The government reports that initial jobless claims plunged by 16,000 to 187,000, a level not seen since September 2022. Labor market activity has remained strong in spite of the Federal Reserve's attempts to slow down job growth, with employers adding 216,000 jobs in December, a gain of more than 40,000 from the prior month, while the unemployment rate remained at 3.7%. Fed Governor Christopher Waller said this week that the central bank could take a cautious approach to rate cuts, thanks in part to strength in the labor market.
Long-term unemployment claims dropped last week to 1.8 million. The forecast, sponsored by Sandberg Phoenix Law Firm. We're looking for a high today around 40 degrees. Tonight, cloudy, a period of snow likely. It'll get windier And we're expecting a low near 10 degrees. The real feels could drop to 10 below. For tomorrow, brisk, bitterly cold, maybe some sunshine, a high 16 degrees. Right now, sunshine 37 degrees downtown at the Arch. I'm Megan Lynch, KMOX News.
At Sandberg Phoenix, we're more than just a law firm. Our attorneys are committed to you, your business, and your community. We are ready to serve you in the areas of business litigation, intellectual property, health law, and products liability. SandbergPhoenix.com. The choice of lawyers, an important decision, and should not be based solely on advertising.
Time to get your eyes checked, friend. And there is no better time to do it than right now. And there's no better place to go than Ophthalmology Associates. They are the doctor's doctors. They're the doctor's doctors because a lot of doctors in the area, over 250 of them, go to Ophthalmology Associates so they can get their eyes examined. And the great doctors there, Greg Birdie, Ranjan Malhotra, Robert Bersati, Andy Royer, Samuel Berry, all of them are wonderful eye doctors, wonderful ophthalmologists. They are experts in LASIK surgery. If that's a road you need to travel down, you can be assured that at Ophthalmology Associates, they're going to perform that procedure and do it well. Whatever your ailment is, allergy eyes, dry eyes, cataracts, macular degeneration, they can do it all at Ophthalmology Associates. It's on Manchester Road, just about a half mile west of 270, not that far. And it's a great time to make your appointment now. And in some cases, many cases actually, your healthcare provider will cover your annual eye exam. 314-966-5000. That's 314-966-5000 or youridoc.com.
The Social Security Trust Fund could run out of money in just 10 years. Does this change when you should file for your benefits? Don't miss Your Retirement Professors, Saturday afternoon at 1 on St. Louis's News Radio, KMOX.
Broadcasting from the Underlaw Injury Lawyers, GetJim.com studios.
KMOX.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. After suffering an injury, you may face many hard questions. What will tomorrow bring? Which firm should I choose to represent me and my family? At Morgan & Morgan, we will hold your hand every step of the way. From our one-click sign-up, mobile apps, and 24/7 availability, we make it easy to get your case started right from the comfort of your couch. All firms are not the same. The choice is easy. Morgan & Morgan, for the people. Injured? Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Hey, this is Lisa Stofan. Heard the Mark Patrick weight loss hypnosis hype? Well, I attended because my father stopped smoking with hypnosis. Hypnosis eliminated my desire for soda and fast food, made me want to exercise, and I lost 60 pounds in 6 months. My energy level exploded. I went to another session to deal with some other problem foods, and I lost another 10 pounds. In fact, I brought my husband, and he lost weight, and his cholesterol and blood pressure improved. My friend lost 20 pounds her first 2 months.
What are you waiting for? Join Mark Patrick seminars and lose the weight or stop smoking guaranteed early bird special, only $49.99. Hypnosis designed to destroy unwanted cravings, late day eating binges, boredom eating, stress eating. That's right. Seminars Tuesday, January 30th at the 4 Points by Sheraton St. Louis Fairview Heights in Fairview Heights, and Wednesday, January 31st at the Holiday Inn Express and Suites St. Louis Airport in St. Louis. Weight loss seminar 5:30 p.m. Stop smoking seminar 8 p.m. Sign up at markpatrickseminars.com. That's markpatrickseminars.com.
Get ready for men's Billikens basketball action tomorrow night as they face VCU. Pre-game 5:45, tip at 6. Hear the game here on your home for Billikens basketball. KMOX.
Amy Marks Kors and Chris Ranji on KMOX. You know, we have Amy in this city. Got a lot of great stuff.
Mm-hmm.
We have the best free zoo in the country.
We do.
It's probably just the best zoo in the country. We have the best national monument. We got an arch. The arch is fantastic. And also, it seems we might have one of the best museums in the country right now. And maybe the single best.
We've got multiple, but this one.
This one is the best open air museum in the country. Potentially, as long as you vote for it. It is the National Museum of Transportation, and it has been nominated as a Best Open Air Museum by USA Today in the 10 Best Readers' Choice for 2024. This could be a very good thing for us here in the city of St. Louis, and to talk about it with us, We go to the Quiver River Electric guest line. Dr. Daryl Ross, president of the board of directors at the Museum of Transportation, with us on KMOX. Dr. Ross, thank you for visiting with us.
Thank you for having us. We appreciate it.
So I'm sure that when I ask you this question, the answer will be obvious. Is the National Transportation Museum the best open-air museum in the country?
Well, I'm a little biased, but I'd say yes.
See?
Okay, and let me ask you this question, Dr. Ross, because I know that I was not alone in this, but how many people in Missouri do you think don't realize that this is the National Museum of Transportation and not the Missouri Museum of
Like the
Transportation?
local Museum of Transportation.
Yeah, or a Museum of Transportation. But this is the National Museum of Transportation. I didn't know that until way too late.
Well, we have been in existence. Matter of fact, this year is our 80th year that we started back in 1944. Dr. Roberts and some of the colleagues started the museum up, and it got along until the late 70s when they were sort of finding it a little difficult to finance everything, and we were kind enough, and the county was kind enough to take us in. And when that happened, they dropped the national name out of it because we were titled national before that. The St. Louis County came in and treated us with the Parks and Recreation Department, worked with them. And then in 2017, we were fortunate enough that no one else picked up the name again. And so after the county left and we separated, we are now a 501c3 standalone not-for-profit organization. But we were fortunate enough, like I said, to get the national name back. So with the collection we have recognized by the Smithsonian and many other great institutions around the country and world, we've been, like I say, retitled the National Museum of Transportation, located here in the St. Louis area.
So there's no other museum that could come in and try to steal that title, can they? Like this is established, right?
That's correct. It's all legally correct, copyrighted. And we were just fortunate that no one did do it for the 30 plus years that the county had utilized and worked with us and helped us along.
That's amazing. You mentioned the Smithsonian, which says, quote, "This museum has the largest and best collection of transportation vehicles in the country." I haven't been in many years. I went when I was a kid. What am I missing out on right now?
Well, we've got, just as a matter of fact, we've got a very great collection of locomotives from before the Civil War up until current day diesels and so forth. We just took delivery of an F-18, the first F-18 that McDonnell and Boeing produced back in '95, and that's going to be on display along with, we have a C-47 DC-3 that was used during D-Day in World War II. So we have a great variety and collection of artifacts, whether it's vehicles and large size scale, or we have a research survey center that we can utilize for drawings from the American Car and Foundry back in the early 19th century or 18th century. And then also, most recently, they were located off of North Broadway on Hall Street up in that region. And they turned all the documents over to us. We just have a terrific collection of artifacts, magazines, journals, programs, airplane schedules, everything else. So it's a wide variety and a great collection of automobiles. We got the only other operating turbine car that can drive, and we have Bobby Darin's dream car. So it's a big white. We're kind of like Bob Costas told his friends in our video also. We're kind of like a hidden gem in the St. Louis metro area. But we have people from all over the country and the world come in and visit us. So we're going to be doing Triton more, particularly celebrating our 80th year in existence.
And I think this might be the single best museum for young kids because, I mean, you have different art museums, science museums. There are great museums all around. But this one, I think perhaps at the youngest ages, because I remember my little brother was 2, 3, 4 years old. He loved Thomas the Tank Engine. He loved trains. We would go to Eureka and watch the trains go by. And then we would always go to the Museum of Transportation. And my friends now who have little kids, my friend Krista has 3 little ones. I think they go on a weekly basis because it's so much fun for the locomotives. You can walk around, they can crawl around. It's very cool.
Well, we got the Creation Station, which is targeted mostly for the real young children, from 2, 3 up to 8 years old or so. And then we have the hand cars to use, and they can get on and, motor themselves around. And we have the junior train, which is similar to what the zoo has running around. We have that in the lower level of our campus. We have 42 acres, so we got plenty of room, plus the artifacts and, a lot of the antiques and cars and vehicles and so forth, all under a roof also. But we're thankful because they put us up with the Jamestown settlement in Williamsburg, Connie Prairie and Fishers, Indiana, Warrensburg, Colonial Williamsburg, rather not Warrensburg. Friends out in Warrenton will get after me, but Colonial Williamsburg. So they put us up there with the ranks, and there's a voting now with USA Today. So this one would be a reader's choice selection. And we're encouraging people, they can either go to USA Today, and they will show you, just scroll down if people would like to, and we would hope they would vote for us. And then there's also a selection when you go to just the USA Today website, they'll have it. You can, again, like I say, scroll down and pick our particular selection to vote for National Museum of Transportation.
Yeah, you can go to 10best.usatoday.com, and the voting ends February 12th. So you have a little bit less than a month to get your vote in for the National Museum of Transportation in St. Louis. It's located 270 and 44. You're literally 5 minutes north of 270 and 44. So it is really easy to get to. And
we're right between Big Ben and Doherty Ferry Road on God bless, I'm lost for words. Oh, Barrett Station Road.
Barrett Station Road, 2933, correct?
Right, correct.
So,
and I just voted. That's how easy it is on USA Today, usatoday.com. And as you mentioned, this is crazy. I mean, it's Colonial Williamsburg, Fort Monroe, the Jamestown settlement. That's who you guys are up against.
Jefferson's Monticello's in there too.
That's right.
And something, you can vote. You can't vote more than once a day, but you can vote every day if you like. And we wish if people would do that.
Yeah, go ahead, vote every day. That's what I'll do.
That's what I'm doing.
I'm not. Well, yeah, I'm not gonna tell anybody. And you did say there's a train that you can ride.
Pardon? Oh, yeah.
Well,
yeah, we have that, and we have trolleys.
Should have led with that.
There's one trolley from the old waterworks off of Broadway that's 110 years old this year, and it's operable, and people can ride on it. There's no charge. It's just all part of the general admission fee.
How long do you think it'll be before you get one of those loop trolleys because nobody's using them?
Jeez.
Well, you may have better contacts than we have, but after $54 million placed for lay the tracks and whatever else, God knows what the future is there. We wish them well, but we'll see what happens down the road.
Hey, Dr. Ross, I'll tell you what the future is. You're getting those cars.
Yeah, you're getting those good.
Probably soon.
When the Museum of Transportation is like, well, good luck with that. That's when
What do we do with these cars?
You're in trouble.
Well, I got a museum 5 minutes away. All right.
Oh, well.
Close to that.
Well, people need to vote. And Dr. Ross, my friend Krista just said, oh my gosh, I take them there all the time. We almost went today. I mean, it's a gem, and it's a lifesaver for parents of little kids because it's so much fun.
I'll be honest with you. We have some elderly people who have retired.
Yep.
As a matter of fact, we have about 140 volunteers that keep the engines running out there. And I'm talking about the general overall operations. But we have, definitely full-time people. But it's the volunteers that we can't thank enough for making a great response that we get from our guests and all the people that attend. Honestly, 99.9% of all email feedback that we get are so positive that we want to try to keep the momentum going and do a great job so it's a pleasurable experience when people come and visit.
Dr. Ross, we thank you for giving us your time today and wish you luck in this vote for the best open-air museum in the country by USA Today. You can go to 10best.usatoday.com or just go to usatoday.com and find it and vote for the National Transportation Museum here in the St. Louis area. Thank you for talking with us today.
Well, thank you for giving us the time. We appreciate it very, very much.
We might come out there and do the show.
Oh my gosh, we should do a live show.
That's right. We can do that, and we wish you a happy New Year.
Well, hold on real quick before we let you go.
Don't leave. Don't leave
yet. Can we do the show from a train, maybe?
I don't know if you got a remote with satellite control.
All right. We'll figure something out.
That's a great idea.
Fun. It would be fun.
And
We'd love to have you.
encourage people to vote. If we can do it before the vote's up.
Or from inside the F-18, can we do that?
That's a one-person vehicle. Put the lady in there, and it'll be a first.
Okay.
That's
All right. Sounds good.
Women in the F-18. It's the very first one that came off the assembly line, and it took off in 1995.
Wow.
Awesome.
That's so cool. I love those jets.
We'll come out and see it. We'll do the show.
Yep.
Thank you so much. We'll follow up with you.
All right. Awesome. Dr. Daryl Ross, president of the board of directors for the Museum of Transportation, the National Museum of Transportation, which is here in St. Louis on Barrett Station Road. Like I said, it is literally 5 minutes north of 270 and 44.
Yeah.
So it's awesome. And the voting is ongoing until February 12th at usatoday.com. So go vote for it. And you can vote every day, once a day.
Yeah, I'm going to vote every day.
I
That's
voted.
pretty tough going up against Jamestown and Colonial Williamsburg.
Who cares about those? We got trains and stuff. We got
And
trains and
F-18s.
planes and automobiles.
The trolley, that's hilarious.
Wow. What?
Good luck with that.
You know one of those trolleys will end up there soon.
Yeah.
Let's take a bet. Will a loop trolley end up at the National Transportation Museum before 2025?
Like a Hall of Shame type thing.
Yeah.
Not before 2025.
Before 2026.
No, because if St. Louis is not great at being quick at things, and so I
Okay.
think it's going to take a while.
Before we die. It'll end up there.
Yeah, before we die.
Okay.
I mean, assuming I could die tomorrow.
Is there only one on the track? Is there only one loop trolley going back and forth?
You know what? That's a great question.
One at a time, I mean.
Well, of course, one at a time. I just don't know how many trolleys there are. Maybe there's a trolley.
Well, I don't think it's of course, is it? Isn't there? I guess it would only.
It's a 2-mile loop. How many trolleys do you need?
And there's only one track, right?
There's one track, 2 miles, 0 riders. Well, I think one trolley's enough.
Yeah. Well, it'll be a nice addition to the museum soon. That's Amy Marks-Kors. I'm Chris Ranji. Amy Marks-Kors, who, by the way, speaking of transportation, had never heard of using a Gatorade bottle when you got to go.
No, I had heard of it.
Yeah.
I had never been part of that.
We have some texters who have thoughts. Next on KMOX.
I'm Brian Westbrook with Coalition Life. More than 11 years ago, we set out to help women right here in St. Louis. Today, Coalition Life celebrates more than 3,500 clients served and thousands of lives saved since we began this mission with you. Each one is a miracle. Over the years, day in and day out, our team has walked alongside women facing the fear and challenges of an unexpected pregnancy. Through the support of this community, we have given them hope and a path to choose life for the children they carry. Our work at Coalition Life continues, and we need your support more than ever in a post-Roe v. Wade world. Whether you join us as a volunteer, an employee, or a donor, know that you have a special impact to make for these precious children. Visit coalitionlife.com to give your vital support while reducing or completely eliminating your state taxes through Missouri's 70% tax credit. Learn more at coalitionlife.com, coalitionlife.com.
At Neovitin, we are all about supporting your nutrition, and that's why we are excited about our new Neovitin Omega-3 supplement. Neovitin Omega-3 is formulated with 1,200 milligrams of omega-3 fatty acids to help support healthy hearts. Our high-quality omega-3 fish oils are sourced from wild-caught fish and tested for heavy metals. With our convenient monthly subscription, you can get Neovitin Omega-3 delivered right to your door every month with no long-term obligations. Support your daily nutrition and sign up for a Neovitin Omega-3 subscription at neovitin.com today.
Hey, Cardinal Cowboy here. 67 years ago, Renner Garage Door opened its first location. Fast forward to today, Renner is proud to serve the entire St. Louis metro area, St. Charles, South County, and Eastern Illinois. When you buy a Renner Garage Door, you know you're getting the best sales and service. Renner only uses premium components for their wide selection of garage doors and LiftMaster openers. Visit RennerDoorSTL.com or give them a call. Renner welcomes you to become part of the family. Renner forward and back. RENNER. Giddy up!
Join KMOX for an exclusive evening at Tapawingo Golf Club with St. Louis Cardinals manager Oliver Marmol and Oliver Marmol Unplugged. For just $75, enjoy a delightful beef tenderloin dinner, 2 complimentary drinks, and insightful discussions hosted by Tom Ackerman. Gain unique insights into being the Cardinals manager and what he expects for the 2024 season. Secure your tickets now at KMOX.com/events. Oliver Marmol Unplugged. Don't miss this special evening at Tapawingo Golf Club, January 18th.
It's January again, and that means we're all rethinking our food choices. Daily Harvest makes sticking to your goals super simple with their chef-crafted, frozen, ready-made meals delivered right to your door. From mouth-watering smoothies to savory bowls and gluten-free pastas, Daily Harvest food is built on organic fruits and vegetables. And the best part? There is never any gluten, dairy, or ultra-refined sugars. Visit dailyharvest.com and use code HARVEST for up to $65 off your first box, plus free shipping. Or find Daily Harvest in a grocery freezer aisle near you.
Your garage door is the largest piece of moving equipment in your home. When it needs help, call the experts at Overhead Door Company of St. Louis. Their certified technicians repair all brands of doors and openers, and you can even schedule evening and weekend service. Just call 314-781-5200 and always look for the red ribbon. It's your assurance you've got the genuine, the original Overhead Door, the most trusted garage door company in St. Louis since 1926. For same-day service, schedule online at overheaddoorsstlouis.com. 314-781-5200.
Major phone carriers make you sign contracts with rigid data plans to trap you into a kind of forced phonogamy. Sounds pretty insecure if you ask me. At Consumer Cellular, we believe in a more consensual and healthy form of phonogamy, free of contracts and more flexible to your data needs. This way, you stick around not because we force you to with contracts and fees, but because you love our phone plans. Like ardently love our phone plans. Phonogamously. Consumer Cellular. When freedom calls, we're here to answer. Call us at 1-888-FREEDOM.
If you want jazz music, go to New Orleans. Bagels, New York. And for psychics, think California Psychics. You want the best, you go to the best. At California Psychics, home of free spirits and open minds, we know better than anyone what makes a good psychic. That's why we guarantee if your reading isn't life-changing, it's free. Visit CaliforniaPsychics.com and experience the joy of certainty. California Psychics.
Cards issued by Sutton Bank and Celtic Bank, members FDIC. Terms and conditions apply. Are you the decision maker in your company? Consider this. For the first time in decades, there's a better option for a corporate card and spend management platform. Meet Ramp, the only corporate card and spend management system designed to help you spend less money so you can make more. Most corporate credit cards offer points as incentives, but those points amount to less than their worth in real cash value. Ramp's corporate cards offer you cash back, real money in your pocket. Plus, you control who spends what with each vendor. And Ramp software collects and verifies receipts automatically, which means you'll stop wasteful spending and close your books in hours instead of days. Businesses that use Ramp add up to 5% to their bottom line the first year. If you're a decision maker, adding Ramp could be one of the best decisions you've ever made. And now get $250 when you join Ramp. Just go to ramp.com/free. Ramp.com/free. ramp.com/free.
Audi Kirkwood is under construction, and our savings are through the roof. During our construction sales event, shop over 500 new Audis and get up to 10% off MSRP, complimentary home delivery, plus 4.99% financing on most remaining new 2023 Audi vehicles, including models like the Q8, Q5, e-tron, and more. Sales and service departments are open during normal business hours. Shop AudiKirkwood.com or visit us on Manchester Road in Kirkwood.
More Amy, more Chris. What is this weird show? It's the Chris and Amy Show on KMOX.
Wrapping up here on KMOX. We'll be back tomorrow at 10 o'clock. Everything is on the Odyssey app. Interviews with Steve Hackett and Major Garrett, Matt Pauley, our Special Forces expert, Dr. Ross from the Museum of Transportation. A couple of people, Amy, have said that they can't believe you had no idea about the going to the bathroom in the bottle and not pulling over.
I had an idea, but I'd never been part of it.
This one says, this is not even a question. I use a bottle almost every day in my FedEx truck.
Oh my gosh, did you know the inventor of FedEx, his name is Frederick? Why would they not call it FredEx? Like,
you're so stupid.
How could you not
You're
call
so
it
dumb.
FredEx?
Dave,
and every day you use a
so
bottle?
Dumb.
Every day you pee in a bottle?
Well, you can't stop. You got deliveries to make.
FedEx.
Let your FedEx and UPS people have pee breaks. Come on.
Come on.
It's Amy Marks, Kors, and Chris Ranji. Dave Glover is next. We'll be back at 10 tomorrow on KMOX.
If you're hiring, it can feel like you're trying to find a needle in a haystack. You can hope the right person comes along, or you can just use ZipRecruiter. And now you can try it for